shit.
It's Lukas. I'm born.
Oh.
Project?
Hi, fellas.
Hello.
What's going on?
How you guys? How you doing, Sappy?
I'm good. How are you? What was that high-pitched whir?
That was opening the door.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's all good. I thought it was me.
You thought that was you like
Yeah, I thought
I mean, this movie, it's got you all sorts of places.
I've been thinking about Bert.
asleep mostly.
Good. What? You see Danny Houston's butt?
Is that the child's name?
You see his butt too.
I don't know who Danny Houston is. He's the Mark Ruffalo guy.
He's
the Mark Ruffalo
the fiance.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the Mark Ruffalo guy.
Yeah.
I got you.
Look, my last Google. I couldn't think of anything.
What is this?
It's a psychoanalysis.
No,
Yeah,
this.
Seth, I might need your help on this project too. I might need you to make up if you'd be interested in making up 25 fictional names for baseball players.
I was just
Yeah,
telling
I
you that I did that for you.
It'd be hard to beat Brandon's, but I could give it a shot.
But I didn't realize I was supposed to give you positions for each of them.
That's okay. I decided where their positions would be based on their names. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked Chris to do one too, and his catcher's name is like Gary Grabass Gunderson.
Nice. You guys love alliteration with these.
That's how you got to do it.
You had like 12 alliterated
the
names.
nickname part of it, like the middle name nickname, has to match either the first name or the last name.
Yeah.
Of course. But his like backstory is he grabs their ass when they're at the plate. Cool.
Oh, that's the backstory.
As a catcher.
It's
Yeah.
good. His troubled past.
He's reading that backstory.
Yeah, he's a palm reader, but for ass cheeks.
He's blind and he's reading Braille.
I want to see what you look like. Their asses.
I was listening. I'm so far behind on the episodes. I was listening to Double Down, and I got to the part where you said that you had a friend or somebody from high school whose asshole hair was so long he had to have a comb it out of the way before he pooped.
Shave
That's right.
Was that a rap block?
No, that was a story told
a guy. Yeah.
And Double Down.
Shave it, man.
I agree. As we know though, it's always a risky business to try to shave down there.
It's tender flesh.
And not a lot of visibility. So the way I'll just explain
how we starting this, Lucas.
We'll do a skit.
How are we doing the middle of this? More importantly.
Oh, I should better pull up my.
Right.
So we're gonna do our. I think we're gonna do the whatchamacallit skit. We'll be like, welcome in everybody. I'm Lucas. It's my birthday. I'm the show wizard or whatever. And then we're just gonna jump right into we're gonna be like, we watched Birth. Here we go, and we're gonna go through the movie from the start of the plot. And then as we go through the plot, we will be able to, and I'll explain all this before we do it too, a little more thoroughly, but we'll be able to nominate bids for items that we are more interested in, like as we go. So maybe like we're talking and there's Nicole Kidman. She's like, oh, Nicole Kidman. We could either, I want to nominate to learn more about the cast, because that's a section, right? Or maybe this could inspire you to be like, I'm going to nominate our Nicole Kidman moment right now, because we do that every episode.
Okay. And you can put down tokens like it's my turn for the Nicole Kidman moment.
Yeah. And it'll be a winner at the end. I'll explain that.
Okay.
Too.
Okay.
So in lieu of a cold open, you're going to basically MC, you're going to open the red curtains. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to the podcast auction. Like, Brandon and I aren't even talking, essentially. And then we cut to
I'll introduce
and then back to,
Okay. Our skit can be whatever. Or how we start in this bitch, I think, should be traditional. So it's not to...
Okay.
So then they're lulled. They cross over into Hezzy Jimbo. Yes. They're sitting in thinking this is going to be another easy one.
Okay.
Strap on, folks.
Strap on.
Yeah.
So how are we starting this pitch then for Bird?
I think...
We're all reincarnated, but it's something just different.
I think we've done that.
We probably have.
We sure have.
Sounds familiar. I can't remember what for, but I feel like we were reincarnated as like an aardvark or something.
No, we did do that.
Right? Wait, when?
No. That was we did one where we were all roasting each other, and we were aardvarks.
Oh yeah, that's.
And there was somebody was an aardvark and somebody was a crane because you had your backward ass knees. Remember that? It was the roast.
Maybe I can be Nicole's dead wife.
Ooh, lesbian.
Her dead wife.
Yeah, I'm her dead wife. Yeah, and she's my dead wife, and we're in heaven together.
We could be having a seance with you, yeah.
Yeah, we turn into ghosts.
So one of us
is Whoopi Goldberg.
One of us is one of us is Nicole.
Yeah.
One of us is her dead wife, and the other one is her dead husband.
No, it's Whoopi.
Yeah.
And one of us
is a seance with Nicole
by herself. Yeah.
One of us just Whoopi. Wait.
No. Nicole's with Whoopi. They're seancing the dead wife. There's our 3-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Nicole comes to Whoopi. She hires Whoopi to.
Looks like a large to me. Sorry, not to be funny.
That's phobic.
I love this.
Can you?
All right.
Not a lot of heavy set people in this movie, except for Sean, I guess. Big bone little kid.
Yeah.
Little
it's so good. I'm so giddy for this movie, anyways. Yeah.
So who's gonna be whom?
I guess I can be the dead wife. Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna talk like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, do it. I love it.
I've been Mrs. Doubtfire by
I think I should be Whoopi so Brandon doesn't do his
racist
Jim Crow thing. Yeah.
His Jim Crow thing.
Okay, I'll be Nicole.
I'm glad we're not. Yes, we are. I'm used to the record button being red, so
that's what Brandon does.
Yeah. Let me be Whoopi so Brandon doesn't say the N-word immediately. He's gonna say it, but we can at least postpone it for half an hour.
Okay, so Brandon's Nicole. All right.
Okay. Oh, we need to do a sound check real quick. We haven't had two of us here in a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I know. Look at that little dude.
He's so little. He's so small.
Seth hasn't really been around quite as much since I've downloaded the Skype app after the whole.
Oh! Well, and also we did it in the living room the last couple times I've been here.
Yeah.
Because we either had Marina or Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, it's been a while since it's just been us three. It's been since. Don't do that. Joanna Man. Since May 15th.
Don't do that.
May 5th.
Oh, damn. I could get over here.
You abandoned us.
I was counting down and he got mad. You abandoned me.
Are we ready?
Never been more.
It's funny.
Okay. He's never been more ready.
Of course not.
All right. 1, 2, 3, play. Thank you for coming here, good friend. I am very excited for what's about to happen tonight.
And who the hell are you?
I'm your good friend, Nicole Kidman. And I'm just needing you to help me visit my past love.
That's right. Well, welcome in. No, yes, it is me, Whoopi Goldberg. I'm here. I am a medium from the movie Ghost. So welcome in. We're talking to dead people today. Just sit your ass right down here, ma'am. I'm glad you ditched your accent too. So good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good, wise choice. Okay, let's begin our seance. Please hold my hand, sir, ma'am. Yeah.
Well, this is nice. I like it.
Ring a ding a ring. Oh, we're there. Oh, Holy Spirit, this is Whoopi Goldberg.
Hello. It's me, your love.
Is it you, Mrs. Doubtfire?
It's me, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
It's Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say? We have 3 seconds.
I'm not.
That's what she always used to tell me.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello. Hello. As one of us once said.
I'm not
you said you freaked me out with the 3 seconds thing. I was gonna say I'm definitely not a man in woman's clothing.
You should have said that.
I should have.
You said I'm not a.
I got nervous. Listen, I gotta get my brain checked out.
That's kind of
name.
What we're doing. What's that? Sorry.
Is Goldberg a Jewish name? Is Whoopi Goldberg?
Yes.
Goldberg is a Jewish.
Oh. I think she's Jewish.
All right. Lenny Kravitz.
That's her thing. Yeah, I think that's her thing.
Jewish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like the coolest thing to be.
Is Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz.
Sandy Koufax. Yeah. So welcome in. It's the good, the bad, and the movies.
What?
That's how we have to do it this week, Brandon. I'm Lucas.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Brandon.
He's Brandon, and it's my birthday upcoming soon. Right?
In 2 days.
Is that right?
It is your birthday.
Okay, Brandon's got it under control, and so we chose a movie of my choosing this week called Birth, a movie from 2004. And because I'm a crazy guy, wacky little son of a bitch, we're doing it my way this week, which is going to get a little confusing. Seth, are you excited for this?
I'm very excited, and I'm not stressed about it.
He's not stressed about it. Brandon, you have some thoughts?
I'm so nervous about what's going to happen.
Not even nervous.
I don't know.
Normally, you're driving the bus, and now we stuck you in the back of the bus, right in the back, my friend. And I'm driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's an Outkast song. Right?
Whoopi Goldberg
style?
No, Outkast in the back of the bus style.
Oh, maybe.
I thought you said Rosa Parks. Did you say Whoopi Goldberg style?
Yes.
Oh, never mind then. I thought you made an appropriate history joke and not an insane one. So this week's episode, as you may have noticed, we are not indulging in our traditional format. Brandon, have you noticed?
I've got some questions for you.
No, that's part of our other thing. That's part of our other thing, Brandon.
I thought it was a call and response. I was ready.
Rip up what you know about this podcast.
Rip it. Yeah, take the podcast. Exactly. Seth is big dogging it today, and we're all big dogging it because
society.
We're gonna invert and subvert the structure of the podcast, and we're gonna introduce an auction style to the way that things are gonna work here today. So. We're going to go straight through the plot of the podcast of the movie Birth 2004, directed by, I don't know, you might have to find out. Each of us three, me, Brandon, and Sethy Boy, are given 750 fungible tokens.
That's important.
They're called Mookies, and they're fungible. Yeah.
Nice.
So everyone gets 750 Mookies to bid on auction items. So the way that this works, we have a bunch of different items of information to auction off. To get information on. And at the end of the episode, whoever has the most or maybe the most interesting and what they want can be declared the winner. So there's actually no definitive way to declare yourself a winner. It's more, have you ever played apples to apples, Seth?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So do you know at the end of that game, sometimes it's fun to be like, oh, actually, I was the most stinky and the most cheerful, whatever the ones that were the biggest connections. And that's like supposed to be your personality or whatever.
Yeah, it's all moral victory.
So Brandon, that's what we're doing here today, because we're going to be like at the end, if budget's really important to you to have, you may want to bid like half of your money for it. And at the end of the podcast, you can say, hey, I've got the budget on my side. That's my information bank.
I'm a money man. I'm all about numbers. Okay, I'm getting it.
Right.
I know it.
And I've got questions.
Hold on for a sec, buddy. So at the end, it's like kind of up to you. If you're like a quantity guy, you want to have the most categories. You may bid strategically, just try to eke other people out. But if you really care about something, that may be where your money will be spent, right?
I have a question.
Yes, Brandon.
Do you? No, I'm doing my old thing. I do have a question. What if we all use up our token, our Mookies, and then there's still information out there to be had?
Then the episode ends, my friend.
Oh, shit.
We're done.
That's the beauty of the game.
So, this could be the longest podcast ever. It could be the shortest.
I don't know if it could. It might be the longest, just with our shenanigans. But there are two ways for the podcast to end. When we conclude the end of the movie, the last scene of the movie, and say goodbye, that's it. Or if we run out of tokens, movies. But we'll also be at that point be at the end of the movie. So when the movie ends, it ends.
Okay.
I think that's kind of in the experience of birth and death and everything. So make sure you spend your tokens. So would you want to know what some categories we can be bidding on today, my friends?
Yes.
Okay, let's try it. And I forgot to also mention each person gets 2 vetoes. They can veto either someone else nominating a category or a bid itself. So, for example, Brandon would bid 50. Seth could say veto. Brandon can't bid anymore for that turn. Seth would get to 50 unless I bid up. Or there's also one anti-veto. And each so that means you can cancel the anti-veto. That's why you only get one of them. And each player gets a 3-minute long silence cast if they want to silence another member of the podcast for up to 3 minutes. They can do that.
Get silence for 6 minutes.
But you can also use your anti-veto on the silence if you don't want to be silenced to perpetuate that myth. Yeah.
I like that each of you guys do the anti-veto or the
silence. Can I use the silence right now?
Of course.
All right.
No, wait.
You said
I think we should probably start the game. I really do want to see Brandon's silence, so I was eager to. But I
was going to silence him to get the rest of these rules, so he stops interrupting with his questions.
I was going to say, I just wanted you guys to each do 3 minutes of silence on me because I'm the one that's supposed to still go through the plot points of the movie. So then you guys are like, yeah.
And you can nominate things too, Brandon. I'm good. Yeah. Chilling. Okay, so things we can bid on today: the beer we're drinking, questions to introduce the podcast, the director and more information about him, the writers and more information about them, the cast and information about them, a plotline summary as we're going through the plot. We have history. The history is coming.
Can I bid against it?
That might be in the anti-veto subsection of the rules.
To make sure we don't.
There are no anti-negative bids. The budget, of course, all that information. The taglines, the cat's facts, a Nicole Kidman moment, our collective quotes. Spoiler, I didn't have any. Ratings, critic reviews, user reviews. There's one of those. Where are we at here? And if we recommend watching a movie or not.
Okay.
Are we ready? Are there any other questions, Seth?
We're bidding on elements of the podcast.
Yes.
And we have to disperse, well, don't have to, but probably should at least a little bit pretend to disperse the 750 very real fungible tokens across things we usually do.
I also foresee a scenario when me and you get buck wild and go 750 right off the bat. And
I'm trying my best not to do it immediately. There's a scene I'd like to bid on.
Ooh,
you know which one.
I know which one. We looked at it.
Yeah, of course.
I bet this whole movie I was drooling over. So I think with that, are we ready to get this thing kicked off? Get this thing
ready.
cooking?
I'm ready.
I have one more question.
Love it.
Are we admitting our schools of thought right now, or?
Oh, I was just getting to start that.
Okay, perfect.
Started their episode. So without further ado, a bong. Welcome in.
God damn.
Brandon, kick us off, my friend.
Kick him.
Oh wait, no, fuck off. I have to do this. We have to. Fuck off, Brandon. Don't do that. We each came in, like Seth said, prepared with the school of thought. I just almost blew right over that. So Seth,
Brandon,
he didn't say anything.
Seth, what did you come in here to this movie looking to critically analyze? And maybe give us a little bit of history about your school of thought.
I didn't. I think I would go into everything with my classic school of thought of like, you know, I always look for something that's going to be funny, a little absurd.
Excellent.
That's just how I live. Like I'm going to experience this now, and I hope it's funny. And if it's not, I'm really going to think about it. So I always look for the humor in everything because it's, you know.
That's totally a viable. Like the comic school of thought, an absurdist humor school of lens.
Yeah,
school of lens. Yes.
Either that or fascism. So I went with the first one.
There's a lot of that to unpack. Brandon, your turn.
Man, you sent the longest list today. Like, you can do these, and I thought we were supposed to do all of them at once because you were like,
"No, you fool!"
You were like feminist, anarchist, class, and I was like, "Whoa, you got to slow down, man."
Something to choose from.
Just of the things that you sent me, for some reason,
you noticed,
entropy really stuck out to me.
Entropy,
and so I guess I'm going to lean towards an entropy theme.
No, entropic analysis.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Entropy is the gradual and certain decay of everything.
Yes, uncertainty bound. Anything is bound to be destroyed, but not built, basically.
Right.
And randomness.
Okay. And fuck if this opening doesn't set that up, right?
Right.
And his sort of that, and my school of thought. I've been really. It's been an odd summer for me. I've been reading a lot of really challenging books that I haven't really finished a lot of them. And I've also been thinking a lot about like spirituality and what's going on out there, right? And birth, of course. I've even talked to Seth about my beliefs in vegetarianism, even though I haven't quite got there yet. But so I'm going to go with like an Eastern Buddhist sort of from the lens in this. I mean, the reincarnation lens to it, but there's also a lot of aspects of like karma, of dharma, even. So maybe even like some Hindu aspects of it too.
Okay.
And yeah. So let's kick off Birth with 2004.
Birth. All right. This movie opens black screen, and a man is talking. He's giving a lecture about how if his wife had died and a bird came to him and said that he was his wife, he'd believe it. Even though he's more of a man of science, he is somebody that kind of believes in a destiny and a true connection there. And he's like, all right, guys, I'm leaving. I'm going for a run. You never get to see the guy's face, really, because you get this fantastic tracking shot from behind as the man goes for a run through the snow, through a park.
Central Park, right?
With I assumed it was Central Park with a nice, joyful, upbeat score. And as he continues to run, title drop, birth, and all cursive and shit.
Well, and stop me if I'm wrong. I think also in this moment, did he not? He stopped in the tunnel, right, during this opening.
That's coming up.
Oh, right after it. Excellent.
Yes, right after the title drop, because then instead of tracking him from behind, the camera is set within the tunnel, and it slowly starts to zoom out as he nears towards us until he gets inside the tunnel, silhouetted, stops, grabs his knees for a second, and then collapses inside the park tunnel with nobody around.
Camera's get away from me.
Oh
yeah,
it does. It was kind of going with him, and then just left him there, I guess. Just symbolic. I would like to know more about the director of this film. So I would like to bid 80 Mookies.
Ooh,
starting off strong.
$80, man.
Mookies, Brandon.
80 Mookies. I love this director too.
I have $80 to put together.
I'm gonna do
Mookies for sure.
Do they have to be in whole Mookies? It can't be 80 Mookies
they have
in
to
one.
Be in whole Mookies.
Maybe no decimals for this.
No, and one
Mookies.
We've
already got 750 of them.
Yeah, we have plenty.
80 Mookies and 5 Poopies.
No, we're going once.
85.
85 Mookies. I'll go 89 Mookies.
Damn. I'm good. You guys keep bidding on it. I looked him up a little bit already. So
hey!
Shut up.
Oh, he doesn't want, he doesn't want the director in his pocket. Brandon, it's you.
I gotta keep track of my Mookies.
Yeah, that's very important.
750 on the calc.
At 97 Mookies for the director.
I'll go 100 Mookies.
I think the most I can go is 105.
I want to go 106 Mookies.
Yeah. Okay. You shouldn't have told him your limit was. A clear win.
I think the most I could go is 750, but I'm not.
Technically,
the most I could go is 750.
Yeah, good call.
Going once.
Going twice.
I get the Mookies. I'm down 106.
Do you get to talk about them then?
We all get to talk about it. I just have the directors now. That's in my point arsenal. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Shut up. I'm not a seal. Are you keeping track of who's won what over there? Do you have a little spreadsheet?
I do. Yeah.
So I can too. I just didn't know if we all got to be doing it.
I might appreciate it if you kept track of my points because I don't know why I did 106.
You're at 644.
Yes.
My
friend's actually fucked up. I don't know.
I totally believed you, anyways. So our director today, let's go. Fucked up in a good way. A man named Jonathan Glazer is the director. He's done. It's a little bit. He glazed her, and he hardly knew.
And he hardly knew.
He hardly knew her.
Vile.
Can I veto that joke?
Can he veto my joke?
I would hope not.
It's just me editing it out.
So Brandon, he's done 4 movies. He's done Sexy Beast, this movie Birth, Under the Skin, and The Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest. Actually, I've heard great things about Under the Skin as well.
Is that the Scarlett Johansson one?
Yes. That is the Scarlett Johansson one. And he's also, interesting to note, Mr. Jonathan Glazer, probably the preeminent commercial like advertisement director in the world as well. He's like he's the highest like paying commercial director in the world over the last like certain amount of years or something. That's where he mostly works in. He works in like Mercedes ads and Louis Vuitton ads and shit like that.
Did he come up with the sexy M&Ms? Was that him?
Might have come up with sexy M&Ms.
He's the one that nerfed green M&M.
He nerfed her.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise you. A lot of his are like European, like artsy commercials, that like are like really like kind of like short films and stuff. But he's like, that's where like he makes most of his money. He's only done 4 films, even though he's been working since the early 2000s, even the late 90s, because he will do a movie, he'll take his time on the other movies, and in between, he'll work on these commercials to make a living, make some money on it.
I also saw that he's done so many music videos. Shit for like Radiohead and
that's part of what goes into being like a commercial quote unquote director, right? Okay. Working in that landscape, yeah. But that is really good to mention. Yeah, I think he's like a very famous Radiohead music video, I want to say.
There were some others.
Police, maybe? That might be it.
There were some others, but I really remember reading that he's done so much for Radiohead specifically.
Which is like, I think kind of telling because they're like the king of the underground art music scene, right? In the 90s, a little bit.
And British.
What would you say, Seth?
I would say
what are your thoughts on Radiohead?
Oh, Radiohead's great. I just, something gets too good for too long and people start to hate it just kind of
for sure.
Intrinsically.
Yes. That I was going to say that.
Yeah. Good word.
Good word.
Seth gets another Mookie token for the good word.
I was going to say that. You got
751. So that's Jonathan Glazer. Of course, he won an Oscar this past year for The Zone of Interest, right? For best original best adapted screenplay.
Best
foreign film. I think he won it twice.
He won screenplay and film. Foreign film.
Yes, and he had a controversial acceptance speech where he called out because he's Jewish himself, but he called out Israel for the stuff they were doing in Palestine, and then that was a big old tizzy, of course. I love Sexy Beast. I love Under the Skin. I love all of his movies. I've watched all 4 of them.
Nice.
Sexy Beast. Who's in that? That sounds familiar.
Ben Kingsley's in it. I forget the main guy. This big fat guy. It's like this big like English hitman guy, and he's like, I don't want to go out and do these hits anymore. So he gets in this big duel with Ben Kingsley. It's a very good like sort of again like subverting the mafia trope of a movie.
Interesting. Maybe I've just heard of it then.
You're thinking of Mr. Beast. So
back to the movie.
As he collapses with no one around, you get a quick cut to a scene of a baby being born in a water birth.
Consequential, right?
Yeah. Huh?
I guess it's consequential.
I think it's consequential. It's supposed to be.
Maybe.
A little baby penis.
Yeah.
Was that the penis? I thought that was the umbilical cord.
I did see an umbilical cord too.
My perverted ass stuff.
Well, that's what I thought at first. I was like, he's packing, but it's just the umbilical cord.
Right.
They were pulling
dick.
Yeah, crazy, dude.
They were pulling a Nirvana and trying to show kid dicks.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
A natural birth by the look of it too, we should say.
Yes.
Did we say that already?
I said a water birth.
Yeah. That's kind of what you do for natural birth if you're doing it at home, right?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And they can like they're like fine in there? They like know how to breathe underwater?
Not really.
They just don't start breathing yet. I think they're still
technically. Oh, okay. It's like
a second
right?
boom in the water until they come out.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like a tempo.
That's why the doctors hit them.
No,
or used to. Yeah, they smack them.
They hit them. Well, in the 50s, they'd only hit them if they were girl babies. Like, stop crying, you damn proud. You know, one of these straight to the moon.
Wait,
I was gonna ask for real. Do we know like what decade this was set in?
I don't know. That's a good question. What do we? Because there's no cell phones, right?
No,
I didn't see any at least. But
that's usually the tell.
Is 04, but it's not like. It's definitely not the 1600s.
No, we can make sure of that.
Yeah, and it's not today. So it's somewhere in between.
It looked like 70s or 90s. Or
it looked like 90s.
I was gonna say late 80s, but I think maybe part of the movie too is that it's set in this like super aristocratic section of New York that doesn't seem to have changed a lot, anyways. So, like, if without the cars and stuff, it could have been like 1940s, whatever. Yeah.
The real thing is it doesn't tell you because does it matter? It's.
I mean, a little bit for context.
It can be any point. It's random. It's entropy.
Like, were there any like presents and stuff given?
No, you didn't get to see any presents.
Well,
yeah, there was one, I guess, but that doesn't give you a tell.
Yeah. Well, the class disparity is like kind of not heavily enforced, but yeah, it's definitely a prevalent part of the movie.
Yeah,
and that seemed like a bigger issue closer to the 60s and 70s. Like, I'm in a suit and you are poor, so you're not in a suit.
No. It was very pronounced like that. Yeah, like the tutor is like super poor, and they go to the rich part of town. Yeah.
They just didn't talk. They didn't emphasize it as much, but it was a pretty prevalent part of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, 10 years later, Anna is visiting the grave of her dead husband, Sean. And Amanda is in a car waiting for her. This is Joseph. He is her...
Danny Houston, yeah.
Danny Houston. This is now her boyfriend currently.
Mark Ruffalo.
And you get to cut to a couple, Clara and Clifford. They're going to a party to celebrate the engagement of Anna and Joseph. They are now engaged. She's finally said yes. Joseph gives this very kind of satirical speech about how he's tried and failed over and over to get her to say yes.
I mean, later, I think that's like super telling as well. Later on in the movie, right?
Yes.
Because Seth, looking from your comic lens, is like a funny, he tried and she finally relented, yay! But then, like, I would assume it's also like maybe he's pretty genuine here, and she's like out of grief saying no, you know?
Yes, 100%.
He was pretty obviously like the funniest guy in the movie, from the moment you see him
talk to the kid.
Yeah, like he's not funny, but it's funny to watch him be what he is.
And I think that scene, you never get to see her like visit Sean's grave ever again. The brother.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
You never get to see her visit the grave again or any time before that. I think that this moment of her visiting the grave and then coming back to the car with Joseph was like her last goodbye to Sean, so that she could let go and then say yes to him finally.
I think you're maybe like, I'll be like, hey, I could see that. Like, hey, I'm getting married. This is it. Thanks for, I don't know. I don't want to jump into Nicole Kidman's head in this moment and write fan fiction, but I think that's not plausible.
To my dead husband. Thanks.
It's exactly like the season 9 episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Nope. I'm not
how your mother met
I'm vetoing this conversation. Not talking about
how. Yeah, you don't even have to waste a veto on that. That's
what?
Thank you, Lucas. I actually think I should get an extra veto for being using it so well.
It is the highest rated episode of How I Met Your Mother.
I don't care, man. What's the highest rated episode of Shark Tank? Who gives a shit?
It's like a 9.8 out of 10.
So
it's a good episode.
It's a bad show.
Respect. I'll bet on some critic reviews of this movie.
He's getting crazy.
I'll go for 50.
You might have me in a bidding war for user reviews.
Can I ask a question? Is Big Rog in this, or do I have to bid to know?
I'll just have that as a $10 token Mookie price to let you know. You can pay 10 Mookies right now to know if Big Rog is in.
I won't. I'm just gonna go up to 75 right now.
Damn. Does Steph want to know still?
No, Brandon's going to be betting anyway. I was just going to help him out.
Oh.
Okay.
I just thought you touched me. I didn't even hear you.
No, I said I'll help you.
I'll say I won't go a bit higher than 75. You can have it if it's up there.
Want to keep track of your points, Bardo?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You're the banker of the podcast.
This is the deal or no deal banker. Okay, 75.
Job, of course. 75 goes to Brandon. Yay, Brandon. I'll keep track of the reviews, critic reviews. It goes to
75.
Big Rog, of course, reviewed this movie.
Yeah, I figured.
Big Rog's review. So he gave the film a 3.5 stars out of 4 stars. Compared it to Rosemary's Baby, in fact, saying Birth is a less sensational and more ominous and also more intriguing because instead of going for quick thrills, it explores what might really happen if a 10-year-old turned up and said what Sean says. So he's kind of like taking the reality of the situation of it into account, being like, this is a pretty realistic portrayal of this absurd situation. Any thoughts?
I love it.
Another one, in his review for Newsweek, David Anson wrote that the script is hooey, Birth is ridiculous and oddly forgettable.
Hooey?
So he's not into this.
Tell me you got Owen Gleiberman here, too.
Couldn't get Mr. Gleiberman. Thank
goodness.
I met
Mark Kermode the Frog.
Instead, I have Michael O'Sullivan in his review for the Washington Post. Says, what I'm not so fond of is the cop-out ultimately taken by the filmmakers, who can't seem to follow through on their promising metaphysical premise, let alone the theme of obsessive love, electing instead to eliminate all ambiguity.
This guy didn't get it at all.
I think that's what I was going to fight back. I think this is extremely ambiguous.
Yeah, that's.
He was like black and white cut.
Yeah, I got it too easily. No, you're dumb. Bad guy.
That's a fish.
So Brandon, those are your critical reviews. Thank you. Yes.
You're keeping track of who wins what, and I got the tokens.
Yeah,
right?
I got that. I'll be the leaderboard, you be the banker.
And I'm here.
I'll be the banker, yeah. I'm going to run away with all your tokens.
All right. Thank you for giving me those critic reviews.
You're welcome. I think it might be important to note, too, in the plot of the movie, we did see a brief scene of that couple. The girl, ran off to the woods, and then came back.
She was very...
But I forgot that point by the end of the movie, too. Even the second
No, that was in my head the whole time. She's hesitant to go to the party, insists that she forgot a ribbon. Yeah, exactly. She insists she forgot a ribbon for the present, and she just straight up leaves and buries that present in the park, all while her husband ends up waiting on her at the party. And you get a little cut as a kid follows her into the park and is then later waiting on a bench in the lobby of the apartment. So, some hesitancy, some stalking aspects. There's somebody always watching you. I would like to bid on the recommendations.
I would love to.
From us?
What is your bid?
45 Mookies.
45 Mookies. This is a pretty minor part of the show, so I'm not going to bid on this.
You could have had it for 5, man. I'm not bidding either.
Going once, going twice. 45 Mookies to Brandon, but you do get the section of recommendations. This belongs to you, Brandon.
This does belong to you. It's good.
And that's something that I like.
The categories
it's like a yes
are
or a no.
non-fungible.
What?
The categories are non-fungible. We can't start bidding on his hoard of gold at the end of this.
Yes. Yeah. It's like an NFT.
Yes.
Non-fungible token.
No, I know.
Okay, good. Yeah. So recommendations.
I don't know what fungible means, but yeah.
It just means interchangeable.
Yes, you can't change it for anything else.
Oh, I maybe they're non-fungible. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
But the movies are fungible, because we're selling them.
But once we have them, you cannot funge them.
Yes, exactly.
I will recommend this movie.
Is funge a verb?
Full-heartedly.
I'll recommend this movie to people too. Yeah, of course. I love Birth.
Yeah.
I would also recommend it. I always, especially when I work weekends, I tell whoever I'm working with, I'm like, I'm watching this movie this weekend, because sometimes they end up, if it's slow enough, watching it with me in the weekend.
Yeah.
I have a really religious technician, and I told her, I was like, we're watching this movie where a guy dies and comes back as a 10-year-old, and he's trying to convince his past wife and from the previous life that he's him and that they should be together. And she's like, oh my God, do they actually? I was like, whoa, don't jump to them fucking already. Like, and she's like, this doesn't make sense. And I don't know the answer either, but she was like, this doesn't make sense. How does that even work? I was like, you open your mind to the idea of reincarnation. Yeah. And then she started going off at
her savior's reincarnated. That's what I don't know. Whatever.
And then she started going off about the Paris Olympic.
Well, he was resurrected, to be fair. But
I mean, isn't he also like God reincarnated and shit?
Yes.
Or is this his kid, but also him?
Or something.
He's like a separate but equal kind of guy compared to God.
Kind of a back of the bus kind of guy.
No, Jesus is not.
Yeah, he would have.
He would have.
He would have.
He would have.
He would have gone back there if he wanted. Yeah.
So,
he gave up his seat. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
3 recommends from us. I'm glad.
Good.
All right.
I'm glad we got that out of the way early.
Yeah.
Now you all know. Back to the plot.
I don't know when you're gonna also put the movie clips in, but you'll figure it out.
Oh, fuck.
We just have to pause when we feel like it.
Yes. Well, no, it's
one more time only. No, we got to do 2 more times.
Yeah. It'll be
when bit on the pause.
It'll be before we do.
That'll be good.
It'll be before we do Cats, Facts, and Quotes, when just like normal, like we'll bid on it, and then.
But when yeah,
they could just be back to back.
Oh boy! Okay, right, this is great. I love this. The NFT podcast.
We're gonna have to go into the psych ward after this.
I'm laughing at you earlier, being like, I don't know what fungible means.
You said it. Yeah. So, we're back in here.
Clara is now getting a brand new gift, and
like a mirror.
Clifford is making small talk with Anna and Joseph at the party, being a classic guest. And
Clifford got great scarves, by the way.
He does. And the kid's name is also Sean. Interesting. And he just sits and stares, and he doesn't go to like play with friends, or he just sits in a lobby of an apartment building for hours and hours on end.
He loves it in there.
No, he does. And Anna and Joseph have set a date for their wedding for May. They end up at great month. That's my birth month. Woo! They end up at a party in their home for Anna's mother, Lorraine, and Sean is like waiting outside their apartment door, saying he's not here for the party as some guests come in. He
could have had a shot of the candles too. Oh my God.
Oh, that was good. That was going to be my next note, because he said he just wants to see Anna, and then it cuts to her like he gets inside. They close up, they turn off all the lights, and she comes walking down, illuminated by the candles as like a fucking angel spirit.
There's a good scene.
Oh my God! And
that's just like, as I was telling Alex, because spoiler alert, this oddly was not super critically like beloved, oddly to me. So I was like, have you ever? This is like the most cinematic a birthday cake has ever looked, and people don't like this. Some people don't like this. It's crazy. But anyways.
Trying to think of any other super cinematic looking birthday cakes.
Can't do it.
Can't do
it.
I veto you doing that.
I don't think we need a veto for that.
And so after this beautiful shot, Sean interrupts the party. Just comes right up to them as they're cutting the cake. He's like, I need to talk to Anna. And they're like, okay, what do you want to say? He's like, in private. So they go into the kitchen behind closed doors.
This is like my 3rd time watching this, and I'm kind of leaning to Seth's angle here a little bit, but I thought this was so funny. It's just like everything the 10-year-old says is kind of hilarious because he's so adult about it. Like I'd like to do it in private, please. Come on.
Yeah, in the kitchen, private. Not here. Well, what kind of kitchen has just a door you close? By the way,
true.
He goes in there. She's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "You."
Well,
you're 10.
It's true, because 10-year-olds are so blunt with everything they say.
Not like that. Not blunt confidently.
No,
blunt, that's like your knees are too shaky.
That's like a 6-year-old. Too young. Young for sure.
You.
Yeah.
I want earnest to this.
Yeah. Doing the I don't think he did the chin nod, but he should have.
Well, you girl. Yeah, he comes in and she's like, okay, what? She's like, I want you. We are married. She's like, okay, thank you, but this doesn't seem right or anything. And he's like, I'm Sean. We're married. She's like, okay, that's funny. You need to go now.
Yeah, you're pissing me off.
She pissed me off. So she starts to escort him out.
She like takes him down to the doorman And she's like, "Can you like pay for him a taxi?" And gives him some money, which is so funny because he pockets it and he's like, "You know how to ride the subway, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah."
Jimmy, the doorman. Yeah. And as he's like escorted out and leaving, he says,
ruffian a little bit.
He says, "You're making a big mistake marrying Joseph." Whoa.
So he's got intentions. Also, this isn't part of the cast pack sub trivia. Jimmy's played by one of the writers.
Yes.
The doorman. So I would like to bid for some writers. I want the creative team. I'll go 70 coins, mookies.
I'll bid 10 mookies.
You have to bid more than
me to be above 70.
He's not getting it, Seth.
I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna bid 76.
Oh,
I like a good writer. Unsung heroes.
That is true.
Nobody sings for them.
Random?
No, I'm 10.
He gets 10 up. Going once. Going twice. Sold to Seth. He gets his writers. We're all on the board. Good job, Seth.
Writers, thank you. And it even out that extra one that I had.
I was wondering why.
Yeah. I appreciate the token, but it was driving me a little nuts.
So the writers of this, we'll start with that man. Milo Attica is the writer playing Jimmy here. He's probably the most inconsequential of the writers. He's a collaborator with Jonathan Glazer because he's also worked on Under the Skin. He's done a movie called The King, and he's also done a movie called Monsters Ball, Brandon.
Oh, Halle Berry.
Head writer of Monsters Ball?
I think he got the screenplay credit on it, looks like. Is that the one with Charlize Theron or Halle Berry? I have never remembered.
That's Halle Berry's one.
Halle Berry
Monster
and
was
Tommy
Charlize
Lee
Theron.
Jones?
Yes, and Tommy Lee Jones.
Do they make out?
There's a classic sex scene in the movie.
Classic. Oh, gross. Those two.
Yeah. I think you see his ball sack in it.
Oh,
gnarly.
There are some speculations that there was penetration.
Can I bid on Tommy Lee Jones's balls?
No, you could have them.
I was
in a little jar.
Not even on the scoreboard. I just get them.
I was looking up Monsters Ball just to see if that was nominated because I know Halle Berry ended up winning for that. But that was the only other thing it was nominated for at the Oscars was Best Screenplay.
Thank you for looking that up. I appreciate you deeply. So Glazer is also a writer.
Minus 5 movies.
Very nice.
Glazer has written the same movies he has directed. He's has screenplay credits on them all, including Sexy Beef, First, Under the Skin, and Zone of Interest. I think it's interesting because Zone of Interest is a nonfiction book about that like German family who lives in that house that the movie's about, and he really only takes like a 2-page scene out of the book and then extrapolates that into the whole movie, which I think is like an interesting bit of like writing adaptation. Which might have been why he won the award because that's like not like a traditional, you know what I mean?
Surprise winner for best sound at the Oscars too.
I mean the sound of that is haunting. And then the final writer today is a man called Jean-Claude Carrier, who is an absolute legend. He is a longtime Louis Buñuel collaborator who is like the king of avant-garde cinema. He kind of like invented it from 1930 on. He's one of the early kings of that. He made movies all the way up into the 80s and 90s. He's like the underground art avant-garde director, so that's pretty cool. He was like buddies with Salvador Dali, so he worked with him a lot. And he also wrote Heureux Anniversary, which won the Oscar. He won that for best screenplay, which I've never heard of. As well as Discreet Charm of the Bourgeois, which he was nominated for.
Great.
That Obscure Object of Desire, which he was nominated for.
Great name.
And The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which he was nominated for. He knows how to name a fucking movie.
That's a movie? They made a movie out of that?
They did. I think it's Daniel Day-Lewis is in that bitch.
Yeah, because that's what's the author? Milan Kundera. I have the book. I just haven't read it.
Oh, rad! I think it's like a pretty, like really acclaimed book. I'm pretty sure.
Have you read it? Is it good?
I've not. I've seen bits of the movie. Daniel Day-Lewis being sexy. I think.
Oh, it's a sexy book. Okay, I'll read it.
Well, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis, so
that's true.
He's sexy in Lincoln.
When is he not sexy?
I told Seth that I had written like just a start of this script, like a bare bones thing long ago. And And so, like, there's some things in here that I'm trying not to look at, like the easy stuff I can find, like reviews and budget and stuff. Yeah. But I do remember looking up this writer and being like, he's written from like 1940 to 2012. I was like, he's been writing for like 70 years.
I think he just died a couple of years ago, but was still writing up until then. He's a pretty legend. Okay, those are our writers for birth.
Yeah, I'm glad I own these people.
Can I make an auction bid for our beers just so we can drink them finally?
I could have drunk them forever ago.
Oh, sure. What would you like to bid?
Bid on drinking them.
I'm going to bid 2 Mookies for beer.
Sold.
Get them out of here.
We've each got
a
Kettle House Cold Smoke, and then I've got a Golden Road Mango Tart, and Seth has a...
Friend of the podcast, Cold Smoke.
Seth has a
and Juicy Little Thing IPA.
We were trying to decide who was going to drink what, and he was holding a Juicy Little Thing. Ooh, he was holding 2 Cold Smokes, and I was like, hey, do you want the IPA? I won't drink it. He's like, I'll give you a Cold Smoke. And then I was like, okay, I'll take this mango cart. Then we're like, hey, we're kind of auctioning off our beers before we even start.
In the spirit of the podcast.
That's beautiful. So I'm in such a beautiful mood. I keep saying it. It feels like I'm on ecstasy, but it's just this podcast.
You look like you're on ecstasy.
Yeah, I'm not, to be clear.
No, of course. That's not what you look like when you take it, probably.
Me, though.
Oh, you would freak out.
Yeah, you start highling, yeah.
Brandon getting happy would be wild.
He'd freak so out. So we're back to the movie.
We're back to the movie. Anna starts to tell Laura about what happened in the kitchen with Sean, and she can't believe it. She's like, he said he was your dead husband and all this. So they just kind of laugh it off like nothing. But you can see like the gears are turning in her head. She's uneasy about it. And then the next day she goes downstairs. They're getting ready to go to...
I'm thinking about using my silence on you while Lucas is gone. Just forcing the podcast into 3 minutes of silence.
No.
Monologuing.
I wouldn't even monologue.
You'd just be quiet.
I'd be on my phone for like 3 minutes just hanging out.
Just watching TikToks.
Yeah. Just into the microphone.
Anna, they're going to...
I'm drinking Dr. Pepper, by the way.
Holy shit.
I think they were going
Friend
to
a
first time appearance. First time caller.
Always funny. First time caller, long time lover. It's me, your dead husband.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Hey, it's me, Sean. I love the show.
Baba Booey, the Cole Kidman's titties. Anyway.
I want you.
And next, where are they going? Romance, Crazy Rap.
Where are they going?
I thought that this is coming up, but this is not the scene. I thought this was where they were about to go to the opera or something. But Anna goes downstairs with Joseph, and Jimmy hands him a letter. And she sees the letter. It's addressed to her, but she doesn't open it right away. But you can tell she's a little more distraught and curious about the situation now. She ends up opening it. Once again, it just says, "Don't marry Joseph."
And like adorable kid handwriting.
Yeah. But like Joseph, that's a good, funny interpretation of it. Just, hey, don't marry this man. It's from a 10-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
In crayons, perfect, too. So Joseph gets kind of curious about the identity of this kid in the letter. So he tries to call Jimmy. He's like, hey, Jimmy, there's this kid. His name's Sean. Don't ever let him in the building again. The kid's like, what are you talking about? This is Sean. I was like, oh.
This scene made me laugh because Jimmy's like throwing the ball at the wall, you know? And I thought it was just like a separate scene of him isolated for some reason.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey kid, hold down the fort for me while I'm gone." But he was like the kid's just watching him play with the ball by himself. He's not playing with him at all. And
no,
because it's a regular 10-year-old kid, you don't think he's like a reincarnated dead husband. You think he's just playing with a ball and not hanging out with the kid.
I'm the kid. The doorman.
I'm busy, kid.
The scene, you didn't see Sean when he's throwing the ball. It's just Jimmy.
The reveal was really, that's what I'm saying. The reveal was hilarious to me. It's like, oh, he just left him alone. Play with the kid. It's his ball.
It is his ball, which is the obvious, what's the obvious reference here? Hey, folks.
The Shining.
Yeah, throwing the ball in a big,
giant,
like, magnificent.
Yeah.
A lot of people say this is a very Kubrickian movie, and that Glazer is a very Kubrickian director.
I'm gonna get to it in a minute because I have a note here.
Fuck. Because we're the 2001 boys too. I've heard similarities to the opening of this movie to when he's like jogging in the spaceship and then Sean's jogging outside.
100%.
Yeah. Cool. It's cool shit.
Well, because even the tracking shots of him running, I got feelings of the tracking shots of Danny riding his tricycle through the hotels.
Sure, totally. And I think the whole thing is like a Eyes Wide Shut vibe. So
I haven't seen
that.
Yeah.
Or Bigfoot versus DB Cooper.
Yeah, Bigfoot versus DB Cooper vibes.
I love Sex Party.
Podcast.
Friend of the show.
Is that my boy Bigfoot?
Yeah, he's calling to say happy birthday, Lucas.
Well, thank you, Bigfoot.
He looks so like starstruck. You shouldn't have.
I'm bashful.
His face is so red right now.
He's actually
so my celebrity crush.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. You called me my birthday? You knew he would do this.
Thank you, Bigfoot.
Thank you,
so much coming. They're the same guy.
You itchy.
I forgot their names. They're always just a different name to me. Dirty and hairy.
Yeah,
Harry
Dirty Harry. Yeah.
Itch Baka, Lump Baka, and Chewbacca.
Fuck Baka.
So we got Sean or something?
Yeah, Sean's doing.
Danny
He's on the
Danny,
phone.
The guy comes down, right? He's like, I'm gonna fucking take care of this shit.
Yeah,
he's
Joseph
just
goes
smiling
down
at him.
to chat with Sean.
Doing a Kubrick stare almost at him, actually.
And
he comes out of the elevator.
They get in the elevator and he brings him up. Yeah, great lighting as it cuts off the lighting in his eyes so they look sunken and just black as he's looking at Sean.
And I thought it was funny too because he's like, "Where's your dad?" And he's just like, oh, "Fuck, fine, we'll do this." And he goes to the elevator. They go up there. In the elevator, I think the kid holds the power, right? Because he's like the way the camera frames it and stuff. Even though he's towering over him, they show the kid from lower up, and the kid's just like, and the guy's like, "What are you doing? What is this going on?" Like, he's just like, "I'm too cool for this shit."
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, Anna. Yeah, fuck you, Joseph.
Yeah. So he steal it from me.
He takes him to talk with his father.
Joseph was bleeding like in the meme.
Yeah. And this hallway was too green. I put that the green walls had to have been symbolism for both rebirth and envy in a way, like two different things.
No.
Yes.
I think you're going too far.
No.
Envy I could see, yeah. Or nature maybe.
Green is a symbol for rebirth as well.
Is it?
Yes.
Like springtime, I could buy that. Yeah.
I could buy it, I suppose.
What's green though? I didn't even clock any of this.
The walls in the hallway.
The hallway was so green.
It was a pretty it was pronounced green, but like a muted green at the same time. It felt like.
But it was also so bright.
Yeah, bright but dull.
Yeah, crazy.
Then, like a neon brown.
Oh wow,
that's interesting.
I
mean, I think it adds to the hotel analysis too. It's it's crazy unsettling, this movie, the whole way through, right? Mm-hmm. It's not in a horror way, a little bit in a horror way, but so that's probably adding to it a little bit.
Discomforting, is that a word?
Discomforting.
Discomforting color.
I just thought about this. I don't know enough about Christianity, but as we are talking and things and some of the history. Okay.
No, for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I got 58-28 on my phone. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Brandon was going to say how hateful he was
of Christianity.
I don't know a lot of that. That's all right. But quote Brandon, fuck them all.
Brandon, quiet.
This is going better than expected. Hold that thought, Brandon.
We can talk about how much you hate Christians in a while. We need to talk more about what scene are we at? His meeting his father.
I have stuff to say about this because they go up to his father, who is, by the way, Ted Levine, who plays Leland Stoudemire on Monk, one of my favorite shows. He's a detective on Monk. Also, Buffalo Bob on. He's with Toby Shalhoub. I love Monk.
I love Monk. Yeah, my mom and I used to watch that a lot.
I tweeted about Monk the other day. I said every episode of Monk is Monk meets another monk in the wild, because that's which is he meets another autistic guy out there and they monk it up.
I gotta go like that.
Thank you. But He's also Buffalo Bob in Silence of the Lambs, this actor as well. So he's one of my favorite actors. I love him.
I need to watch that still.
Oh, so creepy.
I know, Brandon. I know.
So
just let him know you're doing the looks.
Yeah, Brian is still silent. So they get up there. His dad's a tutor at this rich building, which is why Sean ostensibly has access to be in this building and hang out while his dad is upstairs. His dad comes out. There's this big confrontation. He explains to the son about what's going on. Or explains to the dad, what's going on. He thinks he's my dad. Then they get Nicole down here. They get the whole family down here. The dad's being a good dad. Said, tell her you're not going to bother her anymore. You're not her dead husband. You don't love her or whatever. And the kid's just like, no. The guy's like, well, come on. You got to tell her. He said, no. Tell her. No. Tell her.
God. I can't do it.
Can't do it. Of course he can't force himself to. I thought this was funny.
That part, I thought the dad was a lot older than I was expecting, I guess. He looked
pretty bald.
Well, pretty bald, just like he looked too old to have like a 10-year-old, He looked 70, like he had a kid at 60. He looked old to me. Maybe my memory's not as great as yours.
Late 50s. Yeah.
Maybe. Later.
I think it's they have an odd family dynamic, which I don't think we've gotten a whole lot into, or the movie shows us a whole lot of. I rather Sean's original family dynamic. It's a bit. I mean, that's not like a picture perfect cookie cutter. I don't think all the way necessarily. There's like weird parental stuff going on. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little bit in not shambles, but there was something you can always just tell teetering under the surface of it all.
Which I think maybe is like the class commentary too. They have those problems that the rich people don't always have. I guess. Brandon, I think you're
3 minutes is so long.
That felt like a long time, and that was where I first saw the class disparity thing. Was with this
totally.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
The big one that I saw was just a little bit later is when he's spending time with Anna and she goes to visit him, or she goes to visit his mom in her home, and it was like, oh,
an odd scene.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to say is the name Joseph. I didn't think about it while watching it.
Great
but
call.
I was like, I don't know exactly what Joseph is and his connections and everything.
Cuck.
He's a cuck.
I was say he's the cuck. I think
he's in the
he's
chair.
he's like I think it's an appropriately named character here though, right? He's like not if he's like the cuck father, he's in a way he's the cuck husband here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's replaced. There's another like mystical being here. It has nothing to do with him necessarily. I don't think it's accidental. Yeah.
So I just thought of that as we were talking, and then I got silenced.
That was fun.
It was hilarious.
I hope there wasn't a better time to use it. It felt good.
No, you get two.
Could have gone way harder.
No, each person
get one. We each get 2 vetoes.
You could have vetoed that, Brandon.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to see where it was going.
And one anti-veto to veto you.
Except for the force anti-vetoed it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I could have forced him to use all of his vetoes.
So after all these like adamant no's, I'm not gonna stop bothering her. I'm not gonna quit seeing her. They leave. They're gonna go to the opera, and as they're leaving and getting into the hallway, she turns around to see Sean collapse on the floor of the hallway.
Well, because she basically was like, I never want to see you again. Which to the kid who believes he's he loves this woman, this is too much to bear, right? His little body can't take it. Like a real man, I can't see my love of my life ever again. I'm out.
Yeah, and the music intensifies. She's clearly distraught by this sight and remembering her husband's death. And they get to the opera, and it, like in all caps, it's been on her facial reaction for like 3 minutes. This is the Kubrickian stare of her just like...
That's what Lukas sent us.
A while ago, right? Is that what you're going to say, Seth?
No, I was going to say that...
Oh, I forgot he sent us that.
Yeah, I feel like a couple times. Because he'd rewatch it like every day, and he keeps sending us the same scene. Yeah. But no, he collapsed, and you said it was like her remembering her husband dying. But like, I don't know, she didn't see him collapse like that.
True.
So seeing him collapse wouldn't be remembering unless he had that kind of thing. And I don't know if that's an important character detail that he was a fainting guy.
Like a goat.
Similar to
or a chicken or something. I think my interpretation is more in line with Seth. I think the the fainting connection to the heart attack is a connection. I think it might be like thematic or something, or maybe like, he fell in the same way. I think, I don't know. I took it as, because then she goes through this crazy thing here. I think she's like starting to buy into it a little bit and be like holy shit. Maybe like she saw something in his eyes, or be like, if this kid had this much of an emotional reaction to it, like there might be something deeper going on here. And that's because then, like you said, this is my favorite shot. I think I was telling Alex, probably my favorite shot in movies, and I don't any of them.
It is like legit, like a full 3 minutes as the opera
unbelievable
behind it. I'd like to bid $50 for Cat's Facts.
Ah, shit.
I'd like to veto that because I want to keep talking about this shot right now.
I wanted
to. You can anti-veto?
No, I'm fine. I'll save it.
All right, I only have one veto. Okay, so anyways, I just want to get my last thoughts up on this shot. I'm glad we're using all of our tools to weaponize against Brandon.
This is great.
Predictive.
It was kind of how it should have gone. I thought it was going to be me. I'm surprised.
No, I knew it was going to be me.
You pushed that kid down in the park, remember? So...
Oh my! He did.
He did, exactly.
He did. Well, he killed a motherfucker on Tower Street.
No, we can't. I guess the case is closed. I don't know.
I'm vetoing that comment.
Thank you.
It doesn't need to be vetoed. I'll redact it.
Okay.
You're redacting the veto. Redact the Tower Street comment. So this shot is 2.5 minutes, I think, straight of Nicole going through it as they're at this opera here. I think the music is non-diegetic, even though they're at an opera. I think I don't think like the music that's playing at that moment. It might be. So that's you diet. What do you?
Finish your thought.
He's diegeticing over here.
Finish your thought. I don't want to interrupt and get silenced.
It's a good call. So it's 2.5 minutes, and it's the most remarkable thing because Nicole's face both is unchanging, right, through the whole thing. It doesn't change, but also it goes through some like insane transformations that you also see, like this whole like emotional arc go up through her face, while at the same time like literally like not moving. Like it's all in her eyes, I think, which is like
unchanging but not devoid of emotion.
It's all eye acting.
All eyes, probably like subtle jaw clenches.
That you're like imperceptible to hardly even
because it's like behind her, but you like assume what's going on back there because you can see in her eyes what her jaw behind her
because it's like
should look like. You know what I mean?
It's like all the Oscars given to her. It's while she's going here, she's fucking. It starts off. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what I'm seeing. Like complete shock, right? Like what the fuck? And then it's like more like horror. Like what? Like that's my fucking husband. Oh my gosh! And then it's like she's like thinking it over again. Like this can't be. Like I have some fucking sense. And then she's like, what the fuck? Another the fucking eyes and everything. And by the end of it all, she's gone. Right? She's totally gone.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation of her emotional arc, anyways.
Okay.
What was your goofy thought?
The first time I heard the word diegetic was when we did Stealth. And
it's a good thing you didn't say this because you would have silenced.
I would have been.
You brought up Stealth during this scene.
The greatest scene of all
time.
My
favorite scene.
No, you said the word diegetic because Stealth, the rogue AI plane, is like trying to refuel with the giant plane. And it's playing like Linkin Park or something, and you were like, "Do you think the music was diegetic?" So I looked it up, and I was like, "That's the funniest thing I've heard." Like an angsty teen AI.
That's his sound for getting gas.
Pumping fuel, yeah.
But I was also thinking about a new theory of Anna being like the fainting, and thinking that's her husband is maybe like the last thing she said before he died was something that she regrets and does not. Like that's why she had such a hard time letting go and was so much wanting to see him again.
That could be good.
The love was still there, but wanted to apologize because her last words are probably something along the lines of, "I don't want to see you again."
Well, and we'll get into this later, but there's a lot.
Yeah,
I don't want to. This is not a perfect relationship, right? So it is totally in the realm of possibility. I mean, they had rocky stuff going on, a whole lot of shit going on underneath that.
Yeah.
So, and I think
But from her eyes and her perspective the whole time, she sees him as like the perfect, I loved him forever. It was such a pure love. And then everybody else is like, he sucked. Yeah. You suck.
Totally. Yeah. He said he sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget. Brandon, would you like to open the bidding against
I'd like to open the bidding for Cat's Facts at 50.
I'll go 150.
I'll go 200.
I'll go 250. Oh.
You can have it for 250. That's your bid, I mean.
300.
Oh, fuck. think I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna secede.
I'll take Cat's Facts.
Going once.
Stop.
Going twice.
I thought that would have been the one to fight over.
That was beautiful.
And we get to name it.
A lot.
Oh, that's what I want. I bid on the name.
Yeah. That's right.
The only reason why I
wanted butthole facts.
But that's a butthole facts for birth.
I know it's your birthday, but I bid on this fair and square.
You did.
And we're doing ass facts.
Ass facts.
No, I'll think of something.
I'm pretty sure we've done ass facts already.
I'll think of something good. Are we gonna name them and then pause real quick then?
Yeah, we gotta name them first.
Facts.
Yeah, I'll get final say, obviously, because I bid on them.
The arbiter. So we gotta be ass facts, maybe in your mind.
Yeah. Oh, shit facts.
Nicole Faxman.
The Kings of the Jungle.
Bobby.
Brandon is a racist fact.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like we've done that as well. Brandon is a pagan, anti-Christian.
He is. Facts.
I think it's just gonna be fuck you.
Fuck you. Period.
No facts in there. Just fuck you.
What?
Little piece of shit.
What is that part of it too?
Yeah. We're all so.
Fuck you, you little piece of shit.
Fuck you, little piece of shit. Number one.
It's for some reason.
It's because of the timing.
The music of this film, there's not actually a lot of trivia for this one, believe it or not. It was done by Academy Award winner Alexandre Desplat.
Yes, winner for the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Good name.
It was like a very sort of fairy-ish. I don't know how you would explain his style. Lights.
It is very, yeah.
Heavy glockenspiel.
Sure.
Do you have water down here?
I don't have water down here, except from the sink.
Do you have something hydrating down
here? Here, just drink my water.
Ooh.
There you go. I have water down here.
I might need water in a sec, too. So, yeah. Great music, I thought.
I love Alexander Desplat.
This is a great soundtrack. I listen to it at school sometimes.
And I looked through because I was like, I thought I remembered it was him. And so then I looked through his filmography of what he's composed before. God, he's done just amazing thing after amazing thing after amazing thing.
It really is. Film composers are like the last bastion of like great classical music creation anymore nowadays.
And he is like synonymous how like John Williams is always with Spielberg and Hans Zimmer is always with Christopher Nolan. He is always with Wes Anderson. I found out as I looked through it.
Usually, David Bowie did one Wes Anderson soundtrack, but yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, what did he do?
He did Steve Zissou, Life Aquatic.
Oh, nice.
And they're all
like what I was going to
guess. Dave Bowie songs. It's really great. I hate that movie, but the soundtracks was great. Next fact: Nicole Kidman, the girl, in fact, wanted to do the movie after liking the movie Sexy Beast. Glazer thought she was too big a celebrity, but then when they met, he realized that she could, quote, inhabit the person, end quote. It's one of her favorite films, and she says it's one that's the most misunderstood of her films.
Underappreciated.
I was wondering how she felt about the movie when I watched the end of this movie.
She likes it. She loves it.
I'm glad.
I'm glad.
I'd hoped.
Another kind of related fact is that the first choice, Christina Applegate, turned the movie down, which I thought was really interesting.
Like at the time of Anchorman, too.
Which would have been an interesting cast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 2004. But she turned it down because of this graphic sexual nature.
I've seen
like the sexual problems. But yeah.
The scene. Yeah, I get it. Nowadays I've seen her do a lot more like dramatic stuff. I don't know Christina Applegate well enough in 2004 to know how she would have tackled this, but
that's part of being a great director, I think, having that eye and being like seeing like Anchorman and be like, no, you can do Birth. And then she turned it down. That would have been a good movie.
You know who I do see playing this right around this time? Renee Zellweger.
Ooh.
I think she could have done well with it. coming off of Chicago and Jerry Maguire and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Let's expect when Sean is running Betty White, he has a loose right shoelace. And when we first meet the child Sean, he too has a loose right shoelace. Kind of that visual symmetry going on.
Interesting.
Another role, which I think is deeply funny when you think about it, is that Nicole Kidman said that she struggled immensely to separate herself from the role. Like she would, after and in between sets, she couldn't get out of the role, like method acting style a little bit, which is like, I love that boy. That's what I thought.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. And then the fuck you little piece of shit. We have some nominations. It won 2 awards at the International Cinephile Society. Alexandre Desplat won for Best Original Score, and at the Maria Awards, Jonathan Glazer won Citizen Kane Award for Best Directorial Revelation. Special mention.
Wow.
Maybe kind of like a newcomer type of award. Wasn't really nominated for a whole lot of else. Cameron Bright, The Child, was nominated for Best Young Performer at the Critics' Choice Award. Nominated for Golden Lion at the Venice International Film Festival where it debuted. Nicole Kidman was nominated for Best Actress for the Golden Globes, and that's about the big ones.
Interesting. Good job, Seth.
Happy to be a part of this.
Writers and fuck you, little piece of shit. It's a good lineup.
It's a good lineup.
All right, back to the movie.
Mookie.
Sean's mom is doing some like nautical themed, pirate themed bedtime routine with him.
So fun.
When he just tells her straight up, "I'm not your stupid son anymore." Oh, that's got to hurt so bad.
Well, yeah, she's like,
as a father now, if I heard that, that's the end of your life.
Then he like turns off his like Mickey Mouse layup and rolls over in his race car.
Yeah, right. I do love the comedic aspect of this film was hilarious too, because there are the moments where he's like, "I love you," and she's like, in like the moment when coming up shortly where she's like, "Do you even know how to make love to a woman?" And then he's just like, "Yeah," and then eats a spoonful of ice cream.
There's a scene I forgot to mention earlier. It's right before the birthday cake scene where what's his name? Joseph's playing the piano, and Bob comes in and he's like, I used to take lessons. I stopped for some reason. I wish I had. And he goes, "Yeah, we're gonna do the birthday cake now." If you want to get it, he's like clearly wants to talk about his childhood experiences and how cool he was supposed to be, and he's like, "It's Mom's birthday. We gotta get it."
Where's birthday cake? Come on.
That's hilarious. Wait, who was playing the piano?
Joseph, the fiance.
And Bob came up.
He's got a smile on his face, like he's reminiscing. He's like, I used to, He's like, we gotta go. I'm not talking about it.
Super funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And so Sean comes to school late the next day, but instead of going to see the principal for being late, he goes to the payphone in the school, I guess.
I deeply love this movie, I guess, because I think everything is funny now, because as soon as he walks in, he's just, "Get to the principal and explain why you're late." Fucking damn it. Okay.
Didn't even give him a moment. Yeah.
Bad day at work already, yeah.
Yeah. And then he calls on
a payphone.
Yeah. Was it like a rotary?
Uh-huh.
Old decade. 70s, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the school phone that's a rotary phone. Yeah.
Goes in there
and
just
being
calls...
silly, Diane. I mean, it's Anna, but...
calls Anna, leaves a voicemail. He's like, "Go to the park. You'll know where to go."
But he says, "You're being ridiculous about this," or something along those lines. "You're being silly about this. Meet me in the park place."
You're being goofy.
And we'll leave the bygones be bygones and shuffle off his mortal coil. Oh, come on.
It's like a child's voice.
And then,
but he says, "You'll know where to go." So it's like, oh, weird. And
then Grandma picks up the message and thinks it's Joseph, right? And she goes up. That's what I thought, because I think she goes out to lunch with Anna, and she's like, "Oh, Joseph called," and she's like, "That's weird. Why would he call when he was at work or whatever?" And she's like, "I don't know, but he said to meet you at the park, so you should probably go do that or whatever."
Oh no, she said, "I thought you and Joseph went to talk to him." And she says that we did. And then the mom says, "Well, then why is he calling the house?"
That's right.
Referring to Sean.
That's right.
Oh, I have it all wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that even better.
And
syntax.
Anna wants to know what the message was, so she tells her. And so she ends up going to the tunnel and meeting Sean where Sean had died.
In the dark.
which is like kind of some bikers keep like bursting out of the darkness every now and then, kind of unsettling them.
Yeah, but also proving how like connected they are, because they don't even break eye contact when there's somebody watching you have a deep heart-to-heart with a 10-year-old in the middle of a park.
She's trying to like basically quiz him to see what he knows and if he's truly Sean. He's like, you know what? Invite Bob, and we'll go over some questions and test me about my past.
I mean, he gets a handful right too.
Yeah, she quizzes him, but then she runs off after a couple of them.
Importantly too, she's like, who told me who Santa Claus wasn't real? I thought he'd be like, what the fuck? He thought, but he's also like, no.
He's like, Santa Claus is real? That would have been It would have been a dead giveaway that he's not reincarnated.
But
you're telling me Santa?
He says, I'll know them when I see them. About the
I don't know her name, but I'll know her when I see him. Yeah. And Bob ends up. He was a doctor. He's doing like a house call to Sean's home where he's here to quiz Sean, and he's passing all the questions with kind of some vague answers. He doesn't do like full details, but then he starts to quiz Bob about himself.
Yeah.
And the vibe quickly changes. He's like, hey, why did you get fired and move out?
Why doesn't your wife love you, boy?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he holds all the power in all these conversations always. This kid flips it on all these people, yeah.
And
it is good framing.
I do like Bob. And now everyone's just kind of, he recorded this conversation. They're listening.
You got fired, didn't you? No. Shut up.
I didn't.
You didn't.
And he was recording it all. So now everyone just kind of sitting around listening to the recording back, hearing all the answers out loud about details of their previous life. Jobs that Sean had, intimate moments.
The 30-day sex vacation they had,
Yeah.
So they 30 days in 30 different churches, is that what their conquest was?
Etc.
On the couch that they were sitting on.
The green one.
I'd like to bid $5 for the plot.
Were they on the green one?
They were on the green one.
5 mookies.
5 mookies.
On the plot?
Yeah, since we're about halfway through the film. Seems about a good time.
I'll give it to you.
If I win the bid, do we stop talking about the plot? Like, is it mine now?
No, it's just
no.
It's just the
you're just gonna hear it.
Plot summary.
I'm good.
Brandon.
Hell yeah! 5 mookies.
I gotta be a little frugal.
You're right. But you got the big ones. The plot is a young boy attempts to convince a woman that he is her dead husband reborn.
Well, that is news to me.
So yeah, we were in the thick of that.
I'm glad we did that now. We can get back to the plot now.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's going great.
And
Sean, this is my favorite episode ever.
Sean and his mother get invited over, and mark 5 points off. Mookies.
Why?
For me.
Oh, right. You're right. It was such a small amount.
And they're invited over, and Anna tells his mother that she kind of wants him to stay the night tonight to break the spell, and she'll bring him back tomorrow.
Mom's like, of course.
I was like, what the fuck does break the spell mean?
This is where that class stuff comes in again, because back then, poor people and rich people, like, they're rich. They have to know what's best. They have to know better than I do.
He needs to stay in this nice home.
She'll take care of my boy, yeah. There's a part where she, like,
he's like better off there. Yeah.
You've abandoned my boy!
Yeah.
Full Daniel Day-Lewis action.
So they're going to break the spell.
And as Sean kind of ventures through the house as he's staying the night, he continues to pass more tests about his previous life, like who told Anna that Santa isn't real, how.
Well, yeah, because he sees. I mean, because he sees her aunt come in at this party or whatever, and he's like, "That's it. That's the girl. There she is."
Yeah, right away.
That's who told you wasn't Santa.
I told you I know.
And then she's like, "Fuck." Yeah.
Where Sean died, all these things, and Anna ends up meeting with her old best friends, Clifford and Clara. Maybe still her current best friends, I don't know. Tells them about this whole situation. And she tells them that she is fully convinced this is Sean. Like, she's bought into this. And the moment that he had collapsed in the hallway was when it all kind of clicked in the head for her. Mm-hmm. But she's coming to ask Clifford for help because she fears that she's going to fall in love with Sean as a 10-year-old all over again. But she knows she can't do that.
And that can't happen.
multiple reasons, and now she wants
I wonder.
to let Sean know that this can't happen anymore. Maybe if it's coming from Clifford, who is his best friend, it can be easier.
Is that her? Is that her theory?
I don't know.
Well, I thought her thing was just that she said she can't do it herself.
She can't do it herself, and she needs him to do it. Yeah,
because he was probably more of
just like relying on him.
Yes.
Yeah. And then this is the same woman right at the beginning who ran off and stuffed the package in the dirt, and she's acting fucking weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. Yes. Yeah, just sitting there like she doesn't say a thing, just kind of like bug-eyed. She was very bug-eyed.
Very bug-eyed. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Bug-eyed bitch.
Bug-eyed, but kind of hot.
Bug-eyed bitch.
A little kind of hot, bug-eyed bitch.
But kind of a bitch.
Kind of hot. But definitely a bug-eyed bitch.
Definitely.
And after all that, he agrees to kind of help out. Joseph is like, I guess, apartment shopping is what it looked like.
Yeah, because they're going to move in together.
Yes, he's in a 4-bedroom brownstone on the Upper East Side waiting for Anna, but she's off with young Sean all day, riding in horse-drawn carriages, eating ice cream, going to the park, all the fun things.
Yeah, why didn't she just take him home?
She's in love.
Yeah, but she went to go get help, and then they like never came and helped, and then she went and like fucked in a carriage or something.
There was no fucking in said carriage.
Okay,
just riding.
I misunderstood.
Hey. Yeah. That's gonna be 5 mookies for me for that joke.
I'm not in charge of that, man. See?
Nope. Nope.
Give yourself mookies.
That's 5 mookies to Lukas for catching that.
Can I bid on the history? Have we done the history?
No.
Yeah.
No,
the history is coming. The history.
No, I'm bidding against that. Bidding.
Silence, Brandon.
Let's go. Oh, now he has no chance to win the history. I'm gonna bid 1 mookie.
Oh fuck. Oh, I'll bid 125 mookies.
You can have it.
Yay.
The history is leaving my grasp.
It's 125 out. Lukas, I thought I'd have a war. That's all right.
We'll have a war on something. I just don't know what it is.
Like theology.
Can I
over a woman.
Oh yeah.
So the history. Here we. 125. I bid. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm doing the math in my brain. It's dangerous.
Director Jonathan Glazer was interested in making a film about the idea of eternal love and, quote, a mystery of the heart, unquote. While writing the script, he was not interested in making a ghost story or a paranormal piece. He envisioned a fairy tale structure early on. The idea came to him when he was in his kitchen, where there's this little kid and he tells a woman he's her dead husband, and he's 10 years old, which there you go. That's the plot of the movie. He originally went to discuss the idea with Mr. Jean-Claude Carrière, and then Carrière ended up like helping him with the script and writing on it and being a story consultant. With only a few weeks before no, skip that. I don't care about that. Originally, the script was about the boy, and they changed it to be about the woman instead. Glazer said, "We aim to make something robust in which every question leads to another. I'm not a Buddhist, and I don't believe in reincarnation. I don't think I could do a film about it if I did. I was more interested in the idea of eternal love. I wanted to make a mystery, the mystery of the heart," end quote.
Interesting. Is that why when I looked this up, the genre was mystery/mystery?
Probably, yeah. It's a double mystery.
The mystery of the mystery of love. For real.
That's hilarious. I think I forgot what I was going to say. Interesting. That's interesting. That's so interesting.
It's very interesting.
I think he's silenced.
He's silenced. I wondered if he thinks it's interesting, but oh well.
We will never know, maybe.
We'll never know.
I think it is fascinating. There you go. That he says he goes out of his way to say he doesn't believe in reincarnation, but that the movie is about, because it is kind of about it, right?
Yeah, I guess in a way, it could just be more of a device to tell that eternal thing, because you can't tell eternal life without the death of, or eternal love without the death of something.
Well, that's like
Like, you can't have infinity without the finite part of it. Yeah. If everything was infinite, there wouldn't be eternity. There would just be what is. Yeah.
I always get caught up in my brain and would propose with those logic puzzles. Anyways,
that's interesting.
I was going to say.
Damn, that was back in. The shorter one.
Yeah, it felt much shorter, didn't it? For me too.
Yeah.
Probably because I read at length. Unfortunate for me.
I was also silenced, basically.
I was going to say too that it's interesting to compare this to the other Buddhist movie we have done, written by a Buddhist filmmaker, Uncle Boonby, who can't recall his past lives.
Great movie. Sorry, I'm not laughing at
the fish. No, I am.
I was thinking
she fucked a fish. Yeah,
she fucked a fish. That when the monkey comes out of the shadows, like, I'm your son.
The ghost monkey. They're like, hey, this guy.
I'm your son. I made it with the ghost monkey.
It's our son, the ghost monkey.
That was Robert's second episode. Remember when you and me and him were just sitting here watching it, and then all of a sudden we're like, when did that lady show up at the dinner table? We rewound. She's like, oh yeah, she appeared.
She just ghosted in. That was awesome.
Robert.
I was thinking about this morning in the shower, Lucas, about all of your birthday picks.
You're thinking about me in the shower?
No, your birthday movie picks. How you've done The Gods Must Be Crazy.
I'm disappointed now. Yeah.
And then A Brighter Summer Day, and now this. I was like, he's hitting some good ones.
That's right. Some esoteric ones. That's what I do, baby.
What are yours?
We kind of co-picked the Pokemon one, Frank and Skateboard Kid.
Yeah.
Literally for the one quote that I misquoted for a year and a half.
That's right. And I only have Chef.
Just Chef. Did you forego yours this year?
Mm-hmm. So we could do the basketball month.
But they're all kind of your birthday.
Yeah, but when I pick them, I curate them based on how it would fit into a schedule, not because I want to do Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, we should do a Brandon History Month in reverence
of you missing
birthday episode.
Was it gonna be about dinosaurs and?
I don't know.
Could be. Next plot point, please.
Oh yeah, I was looking for it.
Next plot point. I don't even remember where we were.
Chef.
Yeah, it's just hard to keep the through line.
So,
I keep track of everything.
Anna,
it's
the scene. Anna is bathing, and Sean comes into the bathroom while she's bathing. And
can I bid on this scene without the kid?
Okay,
just the kid man.
Nicole tub and her tub water.
Yeah,
for your drinking pleasure.
Bid on Nicole and her bathtub.
This is just Saltburn, Lucas.
So this is all for a Kevin Durant ScarJo situation.
What? I don't know what this is.
Did he
tweeted that back in 2010? He said I would drink her bathwater or something, just unprompted.
Yeah. It's like, get at me, Scarlett Johansson or something.
KD Trey 35 quoted, I would drink Scarlett Johansson's bathwater.
Pretty sure.
You go through the plot. I'm going to look it up and show you.
Oh, hell yeah. That's hilarious. So she is bathing. Sean quickly comes in and undresses and joins her in the tub. It's awkward. And there's this connection here, but it's nothing overtly or truly sexual in nature in a way. It's just them feels like love. He even says, she's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just staring at my wife that I love.
And we know, and it's extremely uncomfortable.
It's not, I will drink Scarlett Johansson's bathwater. He calls her, Scarlett Johansson, I will drink your bathwater, ... #random.
Yeah, 2011. He's been in the league for like 4 years.
He won MVP I think next year.
Pretty close, yeah. That's why I did it. He got this super potion.
His back-to-back greatest quotes of his years is that, and then next year, Mom, you the real MVP. He really matured in 1 year.
He did.
So he did. Sean matures too, because he unbuckles and gets in the tub, right?
Yes.
He's a man now.
But Joseph kind of catches a glimpse of them together. I think. It just shows him like slowly jiggle the door.
Yeah. He's either listening or about to go in.
Or about it just shutting it or something.
Yeah.
But because of that, you get this great tracking shot of him too, as you can start to see it's not an outright anger. It's very subdued, but he is angry about this situation. As, you know, any man probably should be.
Getting cucked by a fucking 6th grader, yeah. By Billy Madison.
You did get to see the corner of her nipple.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, Nicole Kidman loves to do nudity. She does nudity in, like, everything.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney said she's not going to stop doing nudity.
I saw, don't worry.
I'm happy for you.
You do it the one time. I don't need you to do it again. It's cool.
That's true.
Yeah. So then what happens? Are they at the big party now?
It's like a formal like music. Like there's a string trio in their apartment, and they're playing music, and they're just sitting there. And Sean's behind. This scene was hilarious. Sean's behind Joseph, just kicking his chair, like the foot of his chair. And I mean, good for Joseph for not like doing anything in the first time and just saying like, hey, quit that. But it was a little over the top. Will you quit kicking my chair?
Yeah. I'd like you to stop that.
I'd like you to stop that, please.
Yeah. And after kind of aggressively telling him to stop, Sean does not.
Yeah, there was no phase 2 of that plan.
Joseph loses it, and he physically attacks Sean, like spanks him, like shoves a piano to him.
Well, yeah, he like freaks out and like grabs him and stuff, and then they all like pull him back. He's like, I'm cool, I'm fine, it's whatever. And he starts like going off. He's like, it's stupid. He doesn't respect me. I hate him. He's the worst.
He's doing a Harvey Dangerfield shit.
Yeah. And then after he rants and he catches his breath, he's like, you motherfucker!
Yeah, well, he pushes the piano so like nobody else can get into the room he's in.
And then he jumps in and starts spanking his ass, literally.
Yeah.
Nicole's like, no!
So he's got to be
not my husband.
Be restrained from hurting this child any further. And Sean grabs his coat, runs outside upset. Anna goes to follow, and shortly after, so does Bob. And when Bob comes outside, he gets a glimpse of Sean like reaching up and gently pulling Anna in for a kiss. She kisses him back.
Yeah.
This is it.
Bob does not interrupt. He's just like, all right.
Whatever. I got it. Yeah. But it does happen, yeah.
So
it does happen.
Joseph's just packing up, leaving for the night to stay at Bob's, just as Clifford is coming by. And Clifford is so funny. He was like, did I miss the party? There's like things just thrown everywhere. He sees the piano in the wall, but when he gets here, Sean immediately runs up and gives him a hug. And Clifford's like, that's not Sean. But she's like, that is Sean. That's Sean. And while all this happened, Clara didn't come up because she left a bottle of wine in the car, so she has to go get it as a present.
What was she really doing, though?
Picking up photos.
Picking up letters that were not there anymore.
Oh, yeah, letters.
They were gone.
They were gone.
I think his husband's like, this bitch is always forgetting shit, right when I'm trying to go to Anna's house.
Completely oblivious to her lecherous
And
ways.
When Clara gets up, she rings the doorbell and opens it to Sean. Or Sean opens and lets her in. She's immediately like, take me to your bathroom. Shows him her dirty hands. She washes her hands. Invites him in the bathroom with her. Oh, and she has this bug-eyed look to her this whole time.
Nice.
The bug-eyed bitch.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best scenes of the movie too.
Yeah.
Because she's in there. Does she like believe he's Sean at this point, or just the kid? Because she's like super jealous, and she's like, "You're not Sean. You would have come to me first. We were lovers." There's a big twist, right?
I would have fucked a 10-year-old if you'd come to me first.
Yeah.
She would have made this happen.
This is where, because you don't get to learn that right now. She like writes her address on his hand in pen. She's like, come see me. And he's like, just don't tell Anna, okay? And I was like, oh, okay.
Then he goes right there or something.
And Anna was being trapped in the kitchen by Laura and her mother. And they're like, do not do this. What you're doing is illegal. We will call Sean's mother. We'll call the cops. And she's like, I don't care. I love him. And so she goes into the bathroom to a shirtless 10-year-old in her bed. And she like looks at him but hesitates and ends up like just tucking him in. And then the two of them end up taking a cab ride back to his mom's place for the night.
Absconding.
Ooh, good word.
Ooh. Movies. If you want them.
Can I have like 5?
You have 5.
Yes.
Add it to the totals.
I'd like to bid on some questions for the podcast.
Never got that.
I'll bid 30 Mookies.
I'm gonna bid 100 Mookies.
100.
I'm gonna veto Brandon's bid.
Oh. Excellent. It's a 30.
And bid 40.
And bid 40 to Seth. Okay.
So disappointed.
If going once to 40, going twice.
It's only you that can vote.
Oh, Seth for 40.
Let's go.
Seth, do you have questions for the podcast?
Fuck. I didn't think about this part.
I could do it if you wanted to. You can tag me in.
Do you like auctions?
Love them.
Yes.
Do you like thinly veiled metaphors for the eternal love of what we perceive it to be?
Yes.
Maybe you like Nicole Kidman?
Yes.
Oh, it's the John Cena or the Vince McMahon theme. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Vince Vaughn.
Well, you've come to the right place. This is Lucas's birthday, and we're doing an auction-themed movie podcast.
Thank you.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Lucas.
And this is Seth.
Well done.
Thank you.
Good job. You got the questions.
Woo! I'm going to go get a drink of water. You can silence me if you want to, Brandon.
Why would I do that?
That's appropriate. Or me.
I would silence you, and then I'm just talking.
A monologue.
Yeah.
Do we self-quotes?
So they take that cab back, and he is now at her new place and having flashbacks to him. What's wrong?
Oh,
what is wrong?
That's the worst cramp.
Where? In your hamstrings?
Yeah, the left one.
The moon's over my hammies?
My hammies. I almost got that this morning.
You went to Denny's?
With my folks.
Oh, how old are you getting? With my folks?
Ooh. I always say folks.
Really?
A little more in the last couple of years, I suppose. But yes. God, I am old. I talk like an old. I said goodness gracious.
You said goodness gracious. You said folks. You went to Denny's. And
I had breakfast at a reasonable hour.
And you are having hamstring cramps.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That might be a hydration issue. I don't think I've had enough water today.
Oh, have that IPA.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even finish the cold smoke yet.
Damn, I gotta catch up.
Ketchup. I hardly mustard.
Hey.
Shit, he's back.
I hardly relish in this moment. That's pretty good, huh?
That got me for some reason, yeah.
Yeah, I know it got you.
Oh,
you went,
oh, he's a sauerkraut.
I have the worst laugh sometimes.
You know when it's funny because you really let it go, though.
Yeah.
So he was yes.
I was gonna say keep going.
Oh, okay.
Interrupted him
to tell me to keep going. Where was I? Clara. He goes to visit Clara at her place, and she tells him, "You're not Sean, because if you were truly Sean, you would have come to me and not Anna. I was your lover. She was only your wife. You did not love her." And this is where, this whole time, I was, buying into this. Sean is Sean, and he loves Anna. And then I was like, oh, fuck, who is he?
Yeah. It's interesting, too, because she hasn't said a word basically the whole movie. We know nothing about her, essentially. She can't be trusted. We don't know who she is, or she's lying herself. But as soon as she starts talking to Sean, you don't trust Sean all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Because you're looking for any reason not to trust the kids. You'll trust an adult that you have no idea is trustworthy or not.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just slam my head into the corner of the wall.
Oh,
no! Yeah.
I'm mad.
It was hilarious.
I'm
you should have said
laughing.
I'm sorry, you're right. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're right, though. It's because she hasn't said anything.
No, there's no reason to trust her, but you're looking for any reason not to trust the kid.
Yeah.
There's got to be some explanation, because it's such a realistic movie set in a realistic setting.
You're looking for something to break this whole lie down.
Yeah.
Or
make it entirely true or entirely false. You
yeah.
can't live in between.
She gives us one here, too, right? Isn't she like, he proved it, I have his letters? That's what you found, you little fuck?
Well, she sees those letters.
Because they're letters from Anna to Sean.
Yes. Anna had written a ton of love letters to Sean over the years of him traveling and doing these speeches and things. And he had actually never opened any of the love letters. He gave all of them to Clara to prove that he loved Clara more than Anna. But young Sean,
when he went to be trusted.
Yeah, young Sean, when he went and saw her bury him, he opened up the box and opened up all the letters. So she's convinced that if you've opened them and read them,
that's how he truly knows
Sean.
That's how he knows all the answers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's how he knows where he died. And all. I guess not where he died. I don't know if that would be in there, right?
Well, no, not necessarily, but it might tell moments of their more intimate stuff. But really, it shows that it's somebody that loves Anna and not Clara, and Sean was somebody that didn't love Anna. He loved Clara. So.
Supposedly.
So who is this kid now? Because before, like I said, I was buying in. This is Sean. This is...
Yeah.
And now I'm like, the fuck is... Where'd this kid come from? So, Anna's sister Laura ends up giving birth to a healthy baby girl. And her and her mom go to visit the baby, and the mom wants her to tell just young
JFK
Sean...
reincarnated.
Yeah, wants to show young Sean goodbye, go back to Joseph, that's it. And Sean is climbing a tree.
Being a kid.
Being a kid. When the cops get him down at night, and he tells them that he can't
solemn moment of contemplation, yeah.
He says he has to tell Anna that he isn't her husband because Sean loves someone else, and he only loves her.
It's like, yeah, okay, kid.
But then the kid runs. It reminded me of Superbad when the Seth Rogen was like, "That's the fastest kid in the world," because they chase him for like
in the dark.
Steps.
Yeah,
it's so funny because the scene where you see the cop turn around and be like, you can still see the kid just a little way down the path running away.
Well, like, this old tubby kid,
When he's gonna catch this 10-year-old,
he's not fast.
But I think this is very telling and revealing of the movie too, because he's not like he could have. It's not like he snapped out. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm the 10-year-old boy again." He's like, "I'm not Sean," only because Sean didn't love her. Like that's like I'm more powerful than this, right? He's like, if Sean didn't love her, I can't be him because I love her. I must be some other thing.
Yes,
which he doesn't know how to label or figure out or whatever either. Which is it's just hard to interpret, I think, because he's never like, I'm a 10-year-old boy and I love whatever. He's like, I love her. I'm an adult still.
Because that conversation that he has with
I hit my head.
With the bug-eyed bitch, he never like looks like he's been caught in a lie or that he's worried about it. He looks like this doesn't make any sense. He's like, I can't be Sean then. I thought I was, but I can't be because I'm so in love with Anna and I don't even know about it.
Like, I would never have done this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So unless it's like maybe it's Sean that's been reborn into the more pure version of himself that did just love his fucking wife. Maybe there's a lot of purpose.
Ain't no stress, I'm reborn.
We're all.
I'm moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving
with the plot.
Forward. That's good. Nice. I would like to
ratings
bid 150 Mookies for the budget and box office.
The budget. That's a big one. I'll bid. How much do I got left, Seth?
You have a lot. You haven't bid in a while. You haven't won in a while. You have 623. Oh no, sorry. You have 519.
How much?
Okay, I'll bid 623.
I'll bid 350.
I'll bid 450.
Holy fuck!
Damn.
I'm gonna let him take budget, I guess.
You're gonna let him take budget?
I'm gonna veto his votes.
Oh no!
Oh, anti-veto. Oh! Anti-veto.
I'm gonna veto Lucas's vote. Oh! Because I still want to have a bidding war with him. No. And Brandon loses 350.
Oh, you could bid. No.
I'm not.
That's a lot. Brandon, you win the budget.
I don't have enough to bid on that. You win the budget, Brandon.
That's what they call me.
You guys, so we gotta know the budget. Do you have any guesses, Seth?
Budget Brandon, getting the right. Budget Brandon has never played this game before, so this is gonna be new.
Wow. What do you think this movie cost, Seth?
I think this movie cost. Oh, excuse me. $19 million.
Fuck.
Mookies or dollars?
Are they 1-to-1?
They're fungible or something.
Dollars are fungible.
Oh my goodness.
I guess dollars then. We'll keep it
dollars. Brandon.
That's a good fucking guess, too.
That's a good fucking guess. Probably, I hope.
No, 2004, Nicole Kidman. She's like really the only true star. But the music's great. Ruffalo. It looks good. Fuck. 2004. Sorry, Seth. I'm going 20 million.
Damn.
Right. I should have vetoed it.
I should have vetoed it. I still got
it. Up 2-0. It is 20 million on the dot.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Woo!
That sucks.
I told you it was a good guess. I liked it.
20 million
sucks.
Man. I mean, that's a lot, but not a lot. It's artsy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That is a ton of money.
Yes, of course, and all, of course. Opening weekend. Brandon, do you have a guess?
When did this come out? Do you know?
2004.
What day?
Oh, I didn't know you wanted that information. This came out.
Yeah.
October 29th, 2004.
Oh, like a Halloween release. Spoopy.
Halloween weekend.
Spoopy season.
Armando's
birthday.
Halloween weekend.
Wow,
and
happy birthday.
Honestly, before shout Rat Boy. I had never heard of this before you started talking, so I don't think it's that much. I'm gonna go 3 million.
3 million, Seth.
Opening weekend.
The weekend that it opens. That it opened up to us.
I don't know. I guess I'll say 2. I don't know if I got to 3 even.
Seth's the winner. It is $1.28 million.
Yeah,
in weekend. Poor. It's not really a commercially viable premise, right?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Not a lot about it. How about domestic? Canada and USA in their run.
Domestic.
Seth.
You said US and Canada?
The glorious two.
Yeah, get it.
14 million.
Brandon.
11 million.
I was gonna say 13.
I'll veto Brandon's guess.
What the fuck?
You anti-veto?
Yes, I'm going to anti-veto that.
Oh, you used your anti-veto. I thought you used your anti-veto. I'm going to veto Brandon's guess then. I'm going to use my last veto.
I used my last veto. That's another veto that Brandon has. Loses yes, so that's the winner. It's 5 million. What Brandon would have won, but yeah.
It made it feel like it was very much closer. So I really wanted. I was like, it was going to be like 11.3 or something. So I was like, of course I'm going to use my anti-veto.
So
why the fuck are you
5 million only for birth. And then worldwide, did China like birth?
China might have liked birth a little bit, but I know that Jonathan Glazer is like a British dude, so I feel like it had to have made something.
Yeah. And Europeans do kind of love weird avant-garde movies with children
they do
in weird positions.
I'm gonna go 25 million.
25 million.
Fuck.
Seth.
God, that's funny. I'm gonna say 14 again.
14 again. Brandon's very close. It is $23.9 million.
Good guess.
Good job, Brandon. So I think you were on camp 3-2 out of that one, score-wise.
Yeah.
In the other game we're playing inside this larger game we're playing. So interesting financials. Back to the plot.
So let's see, he was in the tree. Anna comes back to her apartment to find Deshaun in her bath. She's like, oh, just dirt all over him. Beautiful. She has a plan for them to run away together. She's like, in 11 years, we'll get married. You'll be 21. We'll be in love. And he tells him that he's like, I love you. But if I love you, I cannot be Sean. Because I love you. And she's like, that doesn't make any sense. And he's like, it's as clear as I can get. He cannot bear to tell her the full story. And after a freak out, she finally accepts that he is not her dead husband reincarnated, but just a young boy, And so she kind of comes to the grips of it. And Anna
You're a little liar, aren't you?
Anna goes to meet with Joseph to reconcile and to apologize. It's Mongo.
Oh, I'd like the movie cat.
$30 for Mongo the movie cat reviews.
$30?
30 mookies.
I'm gonna put real life.
Did
you see that? I want to screenshot that face he made.
He was
for a half a second. He looked pissed and then just out again. Let's scrub through the files.
Mongo movie reviews. Brand bid 30 mookies.
Is anyone going higher?
I'll put money on.
Okay. How much?
I'll do 40.
40?
Yeah.
I'll do
40.
60.
60. I'll abstain. I can get his reviews whenever, I guess. You win one review from Mongo if you win.
I'll get 80.
Going once. Going twice.
All right.
Sold. What movie are you curious with Mongo's thoughts on, Seth?
What did Mongo feel about Frank?
About Frank? He couldn't get over the head thing. He was deeply creeped out about it. And I was like, there's Mongo, excuse me, there's more movie here underneath this. And he was scared mostly by the big hat.
He was scared of the big hat. Okay.
What did he give it out of 10?
Probably not
scary
high.
Out of 10.
He gave it,
I would like to bid 60 mookies for Mongo's other review of the day.
Well, we're not buying them. We're auctioning, and I won the bid.
Auctioning. Yeah, I think.
Well, he said you only get one, though.
Yeah, I only got my one, but I won the bid for it. It's a one-time auction item. It's like you can't if I bought a date at an auction for charity, you'd be like, well, I'll go next. I'll spend like $20 on you or whatever. She's like, no, he won the auction already.
But he usually does 2 movie reviews, so I think you should get 2 then.
No, I'll use it later. We'll be good. We should either bid on something else or get.
I would like to bid.
We're close to the end, so I want to get some of the other things
on the cast. We haven't talked about the cast yet.
We're talking about the cast. I'll go. How much money do I have left?
You have.
Why'd you do them in all separate notes?
Mine's on my calculator. 519.
I bid 519 for the cast.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
All right. I do not have that.
I do not have that.
So Lucas has
0
math on that. 0, yeah.
For the cast. I forgot we wanted to get in the bidding war. Oh, well.
That's all right. We'll do it next auction episode.
Right. Lucas gets the cast. So the cast of the movie today, of course, we star Nicole Kidman. Also stars Lauren Bacall. Cameron Bright is the young Sean.
The boy.
Joseph's played by Danny Huston, who is the brother of Angelica Huston and the son of famous director John Huston, one of the most famous early directors of Hollywood cinema.
Any relation to Nigel Huston? The skateboard.
All the relation. Arliss Howard is also in this. Peter Stormare is also in this. Ted Levine, that's the monk guy, and Anne Hetch round out our cast today. I'm glad I spent all my money on that. All my fungies.
Your fungies.
All my fungies.
I'd like to bid 200 mookies for our Nicole Kidman moment of the day.
Wow, I can't bid anything, so it's up to you two.
I'm gonna bid all my 260 on that.
Okay, I'll let you have it.
Dope.
Seth, you get to name the Nicole Kidman moment for today. What is he gonna do?
I thought we would just all of us kind of recreate birth in a way, but we kill her, right?
Okay.
And she keeps getting reincarnated, and we're like these eternal hunters, and we keep trying to find her, and she keeps trying to escape us every life that she gets reincarnated.
She just keeps going into the witness protection program, but through the universe.
Because nobody knows what's going on besides the elders of the universe, us holy anchor beings that have existed before and exist beyond.
It's the
witness protection program is so far beneath the scope of what we know and understand. We're hunting forever.
Well, that's what it's like the universe.
We're not hunting this. It's like her being. Yeah, she's like a frog maybe this time. Then she's like an alien from Vortex, and then she's an accountant.
When she hits a certain age, all of her memories come flooding back. She's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. But as soon as that activates, we kind of get this ping, in our brain.
It's like,
so we have a one flash, and then we know where she is. She's like, well, she can't get far from there. Let's triangulate.
We hunt her.
There's no extraterrestrial, yeah.
Hunter, and we actually do know her pretty well at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
We become
That's
close.
A beautiful moment.
Yeah.
We become super close with her, but we still kill her.
Murder her.
It's just our job.
Yeah. I was thinking about this for a while, zoning out while you were doing the plot. So I'm glad I saved all my fungies for that.
So it's just me now.
Yeah, you have 273 to do fucking whatever you want. I did not predict two of us having 0. But
you want a quick update on things we still need? You need a bit on maybe?
User reviews, ratings, quotes, and ratings.
I wanted to buy quotes. Fuck.
As well as taglines, Brandon.
Oh fuck! Let's do 30 on taglines.
What's 273 divided by 5?
We also want to make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay, taglines. First tagline. Be careful what you wish for.
Ooh.
Like maybe your husband coming back?
The second tagline. She wished her husband would come back from the dead. Now he is back. And the third tagline.
Oh, we're each doing one. This is great.
I won, so I got to do it.
A haunting thriller that will keep you guessing until the very... I got the lame one. Until the very end. God, you guys got that cool one. I can't even rip off of that.
Yeah. But Brandon, you did...
Be careful what you wish for, like your husband coming back or something.
I should have restrained myself because Brandon did win the rights to name our tagline of our own.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's right. Do you still want us to have input, or do you just want to...
Yeah, I would love your input, but I get the final
say. You get the final say, of course, yeah, because I'm out of vetoes. And I don't know if we could veto something you wanted to bid. I don't know how much power the veto...
I'm glad we can't run into that league.
I still have 249 plus 2 vetoes and a silence.
Did you bet
30?
You have 243 then.
243, a silence, and 2 vetoes left? Hell yeah.
Because you used an anti-veto already, right?
Okay. Yes, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon has all the cards. Because I think I just have an anti-veto right now.
No, you anti-vetoed my... no, you vetoed my anti-veto.
Yeah, I used another veto. No, Lukas did.
And then he vetoed, I anti-vetoed, you vetoed my anti-veto.
He vetoed the anti-veto.
No, I thought I vetoed and then you vetoed because it was funny.
No, he started, then me, then you.
Oh, okay. I know. I didn't do 2 of them at once, at least.
So I do believe we. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I haven't been taglines of our own.
Yeah. I got something brewing. Yeah, Give me a minute, you guys. I got something brewing here.
What about Once I Was 7 Years Old by Lukas Graham?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Turned into this guy's dead husband. Tried to fuck Nicole Kidman. Yeah, that's good.
Rock me, baby, I'm your dead husband.
Hey, I'm your dead husband. Darius Rucker. What else does he do? When you're gonna
Darius Rucker?
When you're gonna fuck a 10-year-old, fuck this boy. I promise I'm your dead husband. Told you.
I don't know what the fuck you care. Was he Hootie in the Blowfish?
Yeah, I was gonna say I only want to bathe with you.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. That's just the lyrics. That's good.
No, it's I only want to be, and I said bathe.
Oh, I didn't
but be with you is also great.
Right, yeah, I thought you just sang be with you.
I only want to be with you.
I don't know if these are taglines as much as just Darius Rucker parody songs.
And Lukas Graham.
He was Pootie in the Blowfish.
Yes, he was.
Before he went solo country. I can't. I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything because I was going to say something along the lines of
it's cooking.
Yeah,
something like, with girth.
Yeah, no, well, something with like wombs and like where the pussy at because you're being birthed, but it didn't make sense. I couldn't make it anything even tangible.
It's a good outline, anyways.
Right.
Screw being born again.
I thought I could cook it up. Didn't have the sauce.
Screw being born again. You'll want to go back to watch this movie for the first time again.
Wow, that's actual marketing. Yeah.
I think we're going to go with I only want to bathe with you.
That is good. But also...
No, you got to say it right, though, I think.
I only want to bathe with you.
And the dolphins make me cry.
They still do, yeah.
Is that the lyrics?
Yeah.
Because I always thought he was
like, the dolphins make
I thought he was being emotional about dolphins. It's because he's a Miami Dolphins fan, yeah.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Who does he want to be with, then? Dan Marino?
Yes. Ken Marino.
A Super Bowl trophy?
Ken Marino. From Birth?
No, he's in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So, taglines are done.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a beautiful time.
User reviews.
We need user reviews. We need ratings.
And ratings. Goodness.
Yeah.
I'm going to bid $200 on quotes to do them now.
200 on quotes. They belong to Brandon. I did my one. They
belong to Brandon.
He's got none. What was yours?
Why am I even keeping track? It was the one about the piano. Or he's like, we got to get to the birthday.
That's great.
Yeah. That shit made me laugh so hard.
I only have 6. So 200 Mookies for 7 total quotes is pretty bad, but my 6, the opening lines of the movie, as Sean is narrating, he goes, okay, let me say this. And then he decides, like, let me say this. If I lost my wife and the next day a little bird landed on my windowsill, looked me right in the eye, and in plain English said, Sean, it's me, Anna. I'm back. What could I say? I guess I'd believe her, or I'd want to. I'd be stuck with a bird. But other than that, no, I'm a man of science. I just don't believe that mumbo jumbo. Now that's going to be my last question. I need to go running before I head home. It builds so much. It builds the plot. It builds him.
It tells everything.
Yes.
It's one of those like funny little things where they like literally tell the whole thing of the movie right there in the first sentence, and then keep going.
Yeah, if going home is heaven.
My next quote is from Anna. After Sean had disrupted the party and her into the kitchen and whatnot, and said, you shouldn't marry him. She's having sex with Joseph, and she just goes, he said I shouldn't marry you. But Joseph doesn't answer and just starts thrusting harder without saying a word.
Just going hard, dude.
Oh, no.
Yeah. With his butt. Oh. It's supposed to recline. I got scared of nothing.
When Sean is staying the night, and the mom's over, and she just walks up to Sean, and she just goes, is Mr. Reincarnation enjoying his cake?
Great line. One of my favorite line deliveries, yeah.
Really good line.
And then he just goes, he likes it.
This
is incredible. You wouldn't believe it.
This was one I took from IMDb because it's not a fucking quote. And I'll show it to you. It just says, straight from IMDb, squirrel, in parentheses, climbing a tree in the background.
I saw that squirrel. It's when Nicole's meeting him in the park. I saw that squirrel, and I was like, he ruined the scene.
Oh, he was like under the fence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why was that thing quote on IMDb?
I don't know, man. Is a squirrel not part of the choir that sings to God or whatever?
Oh, shit.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will you not be a part of God's choir?
Yeah. The turtle tweet.
Last two. When Laura has the baby girl, and Lorraine and Anna go to visit the baby, and it's in the nursery or whatever, Lorraine just looks over to Anna and goes, maybe that's Sean.
It's funny because I was thinking that too when I saw the baby, and then she said it out loud, and I was like, oh, burned her.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And then the last spoken lines, there's still maybe 5 minutes.
We need to take a break after this. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The last spoken words, although there's like 5 minutes after, it's just Sean going, I guess we'll meet again in another life. And I was like, oh, fuck.
I was talking about that maybe a second. But he smiles at that moment, too. The first time he smiles in the whole movie. Because he's getting his picture taken at school, too. But
yes.
It's so good.
Oh. All right.
Let's take a break right quick.
Pause.
We're almost done.
Like, I know a couple songs where the chorus is, I'll see you in the next life. Like Joji does it. Walk the Moon has a song that has that. I think Kamikaze it was.
I'm surprised you don't listen to the 1975 more. I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Because you talk about Walk the Moon a lot, and they're like...
They got similar vibes.
They're very, like, similar sound, but Walk the Moon's definitely poppier. And
they are now. I don't listen to them anymore.
And not as, like, emotional and, like, well...
Dude, you listen to the first album?
No.
Oof. See, you should listen to the first album and see how different it is from, like, they go from that to Shut Up and Dance so quickly. It's great. The first one's, like, so full of heart.
I thought they started with Shut Up and Dance album.
That's their second.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
They started with, I think it's eponymous. I think it's Walk the Moon.
Okay.
Walk the Moon.
But, like, oh, man, they have so many good songs. Because they have Anna's Son. They got Jenny. They got...
This is just...
I know.
Nicole.
They have Tete a Tete. They got... oh, God. What are the... It's a really good album. Next in line.
Well, you should listen to more of the 1975 then,
because think about it.
It would very much speak to you.
One of the singer was on that podcast you guys hate that I listened to, and all the Taylor Swift fans got mad because it was
Come Town.
It was a Taylor Swift's ex-boy Matt Healy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He went on the new version of that show, Adam Friedland show.
All right, you are ready. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go.
I'll see you in the next
2, 3. Play.
It's a good clap.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's so quiet. All right, we are nearing the end of our show, but there's still a little bit of movie left.
We think.
Anna meets with Joseph. She reconciles. She apologizes. Tells him that this wasn't her fault, though. It seemed like a little bit of a cop-out, but also it, kind of wasn't. This, her dead husband just might have come back into her life.
Yeah, she was like, "This isn't my fault. I'm not responsible for any of this."
And she was like,
I guess.
With that small chance, there was no way that she could turn that boy away, but he does end up accepting her apology, and they continue their life together.
Wedding's on.
Flash forward to May, and Anna and Joseph are getting married. And this is
pictures.
During her photos, she zones out. It cuts to Sean at school as he's doing school portraits.
Are they getting married? Is he the groom for sure?
Yes.
I think so. I don't know if the ceremony, because she's in a wedding dress.
Yeah, she's in her wedding dress, and he sees her before the ceremony, right?
Yeah, well, and they take pictures together in the woods and stuff.
Yeah, which is non-traditional for a husband to see the groom, and this is obviously before the modern weddings are who cares? So non-traditional for him to see her at all. He's dressed like the groomsman, and he's not differentiated anyway.
Yeah,
he's got the same flower on his lapel and everything.
It might be under. I think he is the groom, but I think it might be underplaying. Maybe this is the guy, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. He's not as important. It's all about her.
That was my only thought about it.
Well, she's zoning out as Sean's getting his school portraits done and talking about the letter that he received from her, and he's reciting his own letter that he wrote back to her about how his life now is back to normalcy, I guess.
He's lying.
You're right, he is. 1,000%.
Yeah. This is where I believe the most that he was reincarnated too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, copying. You're copying.
Fuck you. Silence.
Good.
$10.
$10.
I can't save you.
Bidding for the user reviews. I veto my $10. I'm going 15. Mookies. I want to hear the user reviews.
User reviews. Only one, maybe more. I don't know them as well as you do. We do have Little Songbird. She's up first. She gave this movie an 8 out of 10. Titled it Jonathan Glazer's most divisive film, but also his most underrated in September of 2017. She says, seeing Birth, count me in as someone who has a high appreciation for it, despite not completely loving it and acknowledging that it has flaws. It's Glazer's least successful and most divisive film. Under the Skin is also polarizing, but was criminally acclaimed, unlike Birth, and it is not his best film. That's his most successful film, Sexy Beast. But it's his most underrated to me. Not as good as Sexy Beast, but despite the much lower rating here, there's a marginal preference to it than Under the Skin, which was still a good film. 8 out of 10.
She needs to talk about this film a little more than Under the Skin. Jesus.
She was very much in the context of his larger filmography.
Yeah.
The Cat's Going Crazy. Copernicus 2. Titled Questions. He has no star rating. He says embroidery of questions, strange air of story, absence of answers, the impact in the moment of truth. Nicole Kidman in a role who reminds the other's atmosphere. Lauren Bacall presence in a role who gives new nuances to story. An old fascinating theme. A controversial theme. The film has to force to impress more for atmosphere than the story itself.
And no rating, you said?
No rating. Hitchcock 12, on the other hand, in May of 2021, I think he's a newcomer. It's gave it a 9 out of 10. Oh, maybe that's supposed to say at the end. But he says, I was confused. Every once in a while, a film comes along and surprises one. I had no idea this film existed, but I've always thought Nicole Kidman was striking and had good taste in what she did. Blah, blah, blah. I will not throw any spoilers here, but there's some really good plot elements that lead to the conclusion. One other thing, the Lilith Kidman is stunning. 9 out of 10.
Some really good plot points, but I won't spoil it for you.
Mark Waltz, 27, in January of 2022, titled "I'm Not Your Stupid Son Anymore." Says, but what ends up being a stupid movie because it thinks it's being so smart is a dour thriller where a 10-year-old kid believes that just because he's the reincarnation of a dead man, it means that he has the right to stop the woman he was married to in a previous life from getting remarried. Years ago, a kid like this would have been in an institution, but now they give a special name for being gifted. That means movie audiences have to suffer through dreck like this. 90s comedy called Chances Are dealt with the subject of reincarnation with the same theme of college student Robert Downey Jr., believing that he's the reincarnation of Sybil Shepherd's dead husband. It was funny, romantic, and mystical. And in the end, he accepted the fact that reincarnation or not, that didn't give him carte blanche to her life, and he moved on. 2 out of 10.
You could have breathed.
I was holding my breath for 3 minutes.
You did excellent.
It's hard to not do bits when I know I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
And then our final review is by Claudio Carvalho in September.
Oh, that's a returner.
September 3rd, 2005. He said, in New York, the widow decides to get married with her fiancé, Joseph, after being grieving the death of her beloved husband for 10 years. Birth is a very deceptive movie, indeed a very bizarre, short story, low pace, and extended along 100 minutes running time. The emotionless direction is cold like the weather in New York, and the movie is too much boring for my taste. Recommend only for insomniac viewers as a substitute for sleeping pills. My vote is 3, and it was 3 out of 10.
What was the name of the last reviewer?
Mark Waltz, 27.
That's right. I just love that he was like, this kid is ruining the institution of marriage. His marriage seems very fragile at the moment. I'm sorry, Mark Waltz, for whatever you're going through.
A 10-year-old can break it. Is it that good? I guess the movie's saying.
Dude, and that Hitchcock one is so funny. It's like, I was confused, but there were plot elements that led to a conclusion. So 9 out of 10. That's every movie.
Can't spoil it.
Yeah.
It's ironic that Claudio Carvalho said that it was 100-minute runtime, but it was only for insomniacs, because before we started recording, we were grabbing drinks. I told Seth that having to work this weekend, I usually watch my movies on Saturday night, and oftentimes, starting it at 8:30, and depending on how long it is, I get sleepy. And like last night, it took like 20 extra minutes, but I was really in tune to the whole movie, was not sleepy. Just like very invested in the film. Yeah.
More nervous than sleepy.
Unlike Double Down, where it was 3 p.m. and I fell asleep 3 times during it. Or The Legend of Kung Fu Rabbit, where it's like, fuck, how much more do we have to go through? So, ending the movie, Anna has a little bit of a breakdown on her wedding day. Oh. No, she doesn't have leprosy. A little bit of a breakdown on the beach. She's like running into the waves.
Yeah.
And Joseph
Frank
runs
style.
He runs. Oh yeah, with a shovel.
Do you have a shovel in that?
No, Frank did.
No, I was the keyboard is to try to drown himself. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Joseph runs to her and like hugs her and just.
But they don't kiss.
They don't kiss, and she doesn't really hug him back.
Kisses her neck. Yeah.
She cries, doesn't seem to embrace him or even acknowledge his presence there with her in the waves, and they just end up walking down towards the beach as he's got his arm around her, but she's just like stiff as a board. And they walk down, and
this is gonna sound horny of me, but she looks like she comes at some point, like looking over his shoulder.
That does sound very horny.
It's the face and a little bit of a shake there. And it is like a pretty weirdly sexual movie metaphorically.
Yes.
About birth and rebirth and sex with questionable people, Mm-hmm. But you could see in her face like it was, I don't know, it was a weird kind of pain and joy.
But they do walk off.
It's strange.
For sure.
Down the beach, and that's the end. As the end credits roll, the song like, I know you belong to somebody.
I missed that too soon.
Do you think, Brandon,
the beach where she first Sean,
was he reincarnated or not?
I think he was. I think he was reincarnated, and him coming back. Oh, sponsored by Napa Racing. Oh, hell yeah!
Damn,
hell yeah. I think he was reincarnated, and him coming back to be with Anna was kind of a reconciliation for his past guilts in his previous life and maybe his things with Clara. And he doesn't want to hurt her any more than he already has with his own death, and then coming back and admitting that he was unfaithful to her. So I think he accepts the life he has to live as a 10-year-old now. I'm kind of with that too. I think him being like, I cheated on you or whatever, and my past life is too much. I'm causing you too much pain. I actually do love you. So this like, because I mean, like, honestly, if the 10-year-old this whole time is like, I want to get with Nicole, and in the bathtub she's like, we're gonna run away, we'll make out all the time, and when he would have got will bang. Yeah, he's like, I did it, and instead he's like, I love you too much to lie to you, and that's pretty telling. I think, I don't know, the whole movie sets stuff up in that way. So I think he too was reincarnated, despite the, I don't know, the talents. Yeah,
I don't know. I could make a pretty compelling argument for either side, honestly. Which is the beauty of it to me.
Like I said, I was so sold until the Clara stuff comes up, and he was like, "Oh, he was sleeping." Like, why now?
I think
this conflict and
because I
don't know. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, that's something else. Go ahead.
Oh. No, the very obvious but thing I didn't think about until 10 minutes ago was when he reads those letters, he's not gathering information as, a 10-year-old being like, oh, I'm gonna fake my way in.
Yeah.
He's reading like Dear Sean, and that's like, oh, I'm Sean, that's me, that's my name. I never thought about that. It says Dear Sean at the top, and he's always like seeing it and as he's the one that she's talking to.
Because he's never got to read them.
Yeah, and he's probably, this is the argument for not reincarnation. He's just such a precocious young kid that he either thinks he's reincarnated or he thinks he's deeply in love with her. And he's not even saying that he knows all of these people because he's Sean. He doesn't say I'm your dead husband ever. He just says I'm Sean. And then he lists all the family members saying he knows them, and he's just flexing his knowledge of it. If you want to,
No, he did once state I'm your husband. He doesn't say dead husband, but
if he's reading the notes, she refers to him as her husband.
Sure.
Yeah,
he never claims to be reincarnated.
Well, that's fascinating because
I don't
even think that, but seeing a 10-year-old boy and having this amazing love letters or whatever, really passionate stuff all written to you would be
like a genius little boy, if he is a really smart kid, he's precocious that. He's showing up late to class just because he's smart. He's bad mouthing his mom, very.
I could see how, and he's just those letters would be the trigger to be like, oh my god, I do love this woman, whatever.
That's why I'm different from all the other kids.
Fuck! Don't bring up these good ass points.
That's what I'm saying. He would not get the place of death from the letters. That would have to be a coincidence if he wasn't reincarnated.
Fuck.
I think
that's what I'm saying. He should live in ambivalence, though.
I agree, and I think the director would say that too. And I don't know if he's necessarily trying to give you an answer. I think he's more interested in the idea of faith, almost. What do you believe? What do the characters believe themselves? I think that's more important stuff, right? Sean, the kid, believes it himself, and then ultimately that's more important than is he actually reincarnated or not. Same with Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
And I think it's more about her grief than it is about the little boy as well. It's her
for sure
going back through all the 5 steps of it all.
I've got $24.
That marriage ain't gonna last. Too bad we ended the episode.
We have ratings.
It's over.
No.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
wait, Brandon, you still have 28 fungible tokens.
That's what I'm saying. Ratings.
Buy them quick before the episode ends.
I'm doing 23, so I can still have 5 tokens left.
No, you can't. You have to get rid of them all.
I'm going to do 23 and then veto so that my veto's gone.
They expire by next week.
A veto and then 28. There we go. 0.
Our ratings. Let me find them here.
I'm up 3-2.
Tomato meter.
On what?
On the budget from earlier.
Oh, right.
I've lost track. Tomato meter. Brandon.
Thermometer.
Critics. I know that this wasn't as well received as we are probably going to give it, but I don't think it's one that critics are going to outright hate. I mean, it's not going to be hopefully a 20, but it's got to be anywhere between that 40 to 70 range. I'm going to go 58%.
Steffi?
45%. I could see.
Never said the lower number. I forget. Wins. It's a 39.
Holy shit!
On the thermometer.
That is
very low.
I thought I was being risky saying 45.
Were you kind of in that 40 to 70 range, like you thought?
40 to 60.
Yeah.
What about the users?
Abuse it, lose it. 47 for users. I think they were a little kind because they're sickos.
Sometimes they are is the thing.
Yeah, and sometimes they're not.
I'm going to go 53.
Seth again. It's a 43 for the users.
Nice.
Damn.
How about
I got my finger in the people.
And the people.
The Metacritic out of 100.
Out of 1 billion.
No. It's going to be, I'm still sticking in these 54.
Billion?
Seth?
No, not billion.
Metacritic. 55.
Ooh, very close. Brandon wins. It's a 51.
Oh,
damn, nice.
Fuck, and it's 4 to 4.
Our final score of the evening is IMDb users.
Seth and I both know this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
So it's 4 to 4 right now.
Let's both guess.
What's the answer?
I'll go first. That's a
6.3. Yeah. Goddamn you.
He said 10. He said 10. I won the fucking game. Put that on my list.
I thought we were gonna do a bit.
What's that?
I thought we were gonna do a bit.
10?
Yeah.
No, the bit was that we pretend that I'm a genius. I didn't know you also knew the score, though.
Yes, I told you that earlier. That's
you knew a different score.
No.
For our final task of the evening, Brandon, what are you giving this movie?
I was so ready to not like this film for how much he's talked about it and whatnot.
You should trust your friend. Ready to like it more.
I should trust my friend.
I was a little annoyed.
It's different because I don't watch movies, so anytime like somebody that watches a ton is like, "This is the movie," I'm like, "All right, it's got to be."
Well, and him and I have been in line all season long, basically. But I was ready to not like this, knowing that critics weren't a fan of it ahead of time.
Cringe.
And I watched it and I loved it. And it's going to be a movie that maybe it's not. I don't adore quite as much as Lukas does, but it's going to be one that gives you that question that makes you think. What was the film last year that? It wasn't Past Lives. It wasn't Zone of Interest. It was...
Past Lives was good.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall, where you're just thinking about the ending and what the ambiguous ending. This is going to be one that churns in my mind the ambiguity of it all, and I'm going to be thinking about birth. So, 8.7 out of 10.
Damn.
Fantastic, Sethy.
I'm going to go 8.8 just to one up Brandon.
I'm close.
Final win of the night. Or are you? 8.8.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite to the 9 territory for me. I did really enjoy it, and I was ready to really like it too, because like I said, I get where Brandon's coming from. He watches a ton of movies. He's more familiar with the meat, more familiar with the material, or the medium. Yeah. The meat. But like I trusted you being like, well, it's going to be a good movie. And then I went in not knowing anything. I didn't look at any plot. I looked at the cast a little bit, but just very confused immediately. But that's the kind of thing that draws me in. I'm like, well, I need to know. I need to figure it out. And I have to wait for the end so I get all the answers. And then I didn't get any answers. So it made me think about it, which made me feel, I don't know. I don't think a lot. So it felt good for a minute.
It felt good to also do this and not have to be the host, where I didn't do the full script and research, where I didn't do the history and the facts and the reviews. And like I said, I did do some of the easier stuff to find, but like it didn't tell me everything about the movie. And so getting to sit and watch something with this much depth to it and birth to it
Johnny Depp
was great. Also, Nicole Kidman was so good.
Nicole Kidman was phenomenal. I've never seen her before, so that was a good introduction to Nicole Kidman.
This is your Nicole Kidman, and Frank is your Michael Fassbender, for two like very renowned actors.
Honestly, for real, yes. I've never seen Nicole Kidman before besides that commercial.
Lukas, your score?
I'm giving it a 9.8. It's one of my big dog movies. It's got my favorite shot maybe in all of movies. So I'm gonna. I mean, I've waxed a lot of poetic about it. So I'm gonna end with a 9.8, and that's our episode.
That's our option.
Waxed a lot of hair about it.
I'm happy for us. We actually did it.
I'm very happy about this episode.
Back with the bracket next week. Is that it, Brandon?
Next week is ending season 10 with a bracket.
Damn, I really got to get on that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to vote still? I guess you have Devin vote still.
Devin never votes, even if I tell him to. And you've been on like 5 episodes.
True. It's been a good amount. It's a good amount for me.
So,
bye-bye.
Bonjour, children.
Bonjour. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Lucas, thank you very much for working so hard on your birthday episode.
Doing this.
I love the auction style. I hope the viewers do as well.
Yeah, sure even if it's confusing.
It was a beautiful mess.
All right.
I loved it.
We love you, folks.
Douche.
Sketch, yeah. Stop it. Stop the recording now.
That was good. All right. That was good. Thanks for doing that, boys. I gotta peace out, but
that was a lot of fun.
That was great. I really enjoyed that.
Goodbye, Lucas.
Guys.
Sleep tight.